exactly right. Your strategy's right on. Challenge him now while he's young. 3 more years from now, he'll know what he's doing. Yeah.
But I think he's got some big boys on the line to protect him too. So looks like he can read well.
Stay away from silly turnovers.
Yeah, it's gonna be. The hands gonna be cold tonight. We'll see. Alright, put on your headset, make sure you can hear me. Check. Good on my end. Be good on yours. Check.
I hears you.
I can hear you.
Now, we good to go?
Cut these up. You're gonna have to fool with that tonight.
Okay.
Up when we're on, down when we're off.
We can do it.
B-R-O-A-D. I don't think we're going to be opening the windows tonight.
Nah.
I think it's outside. Yeah, it's outside. And I can't reach it. Better be coming with no strings. Better be coming with no strings. Man, one time. Be alive.
Doesn't it bother you that he knows the words to the music that's being played?
I only know the chorus.
That just tells you the age difference we have here.
Can you hear us, Susan? Well, I can hear country music. That's a good sign.
It's a good sign.
We'll minimize this now and go into this.
I'm just going to cut off until they get their run out song.
Listen.
Can't play a warm-up CD.
Oh, what?
Can't try.
We
here.
are. Are you?
Can't try this college said. I don't like that song. Gotta help the kids get up for a game.
It's not too bad in here.
Now I'm gonna trade with you next week. I don't think so, but most people don't like to hear their voice replayed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you here tonight to KCP Goodyear Stadium for first round playoff action between the
I'm listening to it now. It sounds pretty good to me. I'm not being argumentative. Dwayne warned me about being argumentative with you.
visitors from Auburn. Number 1, Malachi Spencer.
Well, yeah. He says that's a given.
Number 4, Cameron King. Number 5, Rusty Marshall. Number 6, Casey Kelly. Number 7, Devin Davis.
Well, actually, for this weather, there's a few folks, but no, it's not a big crowd yet.
Number 10, Chris Carter.
Yep.
Number 11,
I think that's
T.
four.
Roma.
Dwayne wanted to make sure you knew that Auburn had 4 people here.
Second team, Isaac Key. Number 20, Austin Floor. 22, Chris Hunt. 24, Tyler Austin. 28, Hayden Clevenger. Number 30, Micah Sutton. 31, Austin Castle. Number 32, Tristan Perry. 33, Levi.
Are you hearing me in both ears over there?
Number 50, Justin Odie.
Just one?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the echo, but
Number 52, Drew Hill.
Yeah,
I'm
hearing-
only hearing me in one ear,
56,
Me too.
57, Alfred.
and that's okay.
Yeah, but that ain't supposed to be like that.
Number 62, Jared Hawk. 63,
There he is.
65, Zach.
Susan, Austin's trying to be a professional again. Yeah. Makes everything sound right.
Do we sound okay there, Susan? Push that top button real quick. Let's just see if it's just when everything good there.
Say some more.
Say some more.
I hear you in this ear now.
Okay. Yeah, everything's good when we actually go on. It's just when we're talking to her, it's way out of whack. You can push it back in. No, if the buttons
No, I'm good,
unpushed,
but
then
thank
we
you.
can't talk to you.
No,
But
no,
we also don't have
cannot
that
wear
echo.
those gloves. Although I told someone I'm going to become a Cowboys fan, and that scared them to death.
I'll do it.
Yeah, because every time I root for a team, they lose.
Oh,
So,
stick with what you got.
yeah.
Yes. Why's that? Yeah, he is. What time? No, let's go before. Yeah.
Yeah, Dwayne wants to talk.
Sing too.
He said sing, too.
Give me some times.
Zion Garrison, Grace Gibson, Dee Dee Harless, Garrett McDaniel, Alexis McGuire,
You know who rates.
Samantha Meyer,
No doubt.
Aliana Pollard, Caitlin Johnson, and your captain, Kristen Kraft, Aaliyah Hairston, Amaya Hunter, and Lindsey Jones. Your Cougar cheerleaders are coached this year by cheer coach Kim Jefferson.
What region are we? Region 1 what?
I don't know.
Romy, do you know?
I think we're Class A, Region C, I believe.
Region 1C.
Yeah, let me look that up for you just to be sure.
Okay.
That man is good. Let me tell you what.
He works with the newspaper. I figured he would. If anybody had the answer in this booth, he had it.
$44 or $36.
44. That
Yeah.
sounds fine. Okay. After a 7-3 regular season, the Covington Cougars will play host to Auburn tonight in the first round of the VHSL Region 1C playoffs. Thanks for watching. You can also listen live on the FM dial 103.5 Big Country. Boy, that is a wicked delay.
Yes.
I can hear myself say it and then I can hear it again. So something's not right there. I got to fix that. That's driving me nuts. To the public. Create the stream. Save and close.
She must not pick up all that echo. She picks up a delay.
No, she only hears the delay.
Yeah.
That's why it takes her. She asked us a question a couple of times, even though we answer. What's
Class 1, Region C.
okay? Thank you. Okay. Can you still hear me? Okay, good. Now that is still there. Let's restart. I don't understand why that's doing that.
Just shut your laptop down.
Yeah, and I restarted it. Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
That has nothing to do with it.
No, these are us. So this is like left ear, right ear. That's what the L and the R are. If it's right in the middle, you should be able to hear it in both.
Okay.
2 corrections for you on the roster.
I don't have one of your all's rosters. No, sir.
I think
He's in there. Press box.
Susan's probably going to call you freaking out. Tell her I did it. It's no big deal. BROADCAST1 exclamation point.
Number 68. Press com. Got it.
That would have been the branch I would have gone into. I wish I would have. Kara kicked my butt now. Tell her she should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Are you there, Susie? Hello. Can't hear her. Can you hear me?
says she can hear you now.
Are you there, Susan? Push the button, top button. You can still, yeah, we're good there, right? Push it again.
I can't hear you in the headphones.
Not when the buttons, with the buttons pushed, you can't, right?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
We hear you now.
No, we're good shape. I did all that. That's a lot better, right? That's fixed.
Hear her better. I still don't hear you in the headphones on this button.
Well, I mean, I can hear you in both.
I don't hear. I hear you talking. I don't hear you in the headphones. I don't hear me in the headphones either. I hear the echo.
You should be able to hear you I can hear me in the echo.
See, I heard that echo.
Listen. You didn't hear you there?
Hear the echo.
Oh, okay. It's better than it was anyway.
We'll be good.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit. Like a 3-second delay.
Actually, it is better. There's not as many echoes.
Yeah. Before there were two. Like you could hear your echo, then you could
Yep.
you could hear you even louder in the echo. Yeah. Okay. I need to set my camera presets to make it
I
easier.
think you repainted the numbers, Steve.
Mm-mm. They're not as bright today. There's that echo again.
Yeah.
Is it still there? No.
Kind of intermittent, to be honest, but it's
It's got to do with
better.
this. Like, watch. I'll unmute that.
Yep. You're right.
That's what it is. Well, if that gives me too much of a fit, then we'll just say, you know what, forget it.
My guess is between you and Al, this is why there's not quite as many people here.
I agree with you.
How long have I been saying that? Preset number 1. All right, zoom out. Preset number 2. I'm going to zoom out. Okay. Preset number 3. That scared me. That scared me real good. Yes. All right, and if we happen to do the national anthem, I'll zoom in on the flag, which is at half staff tonight.
You know, your pictures is you're not picking up the window bar. You're doing well.
You're picking up a little bit, but
Really?
yeah.
I couldn't see it. I believe you. I just couldn't see it from where I'm at.
All right, so 1, scoreboard.
Yeah.
2, this end zone. 3, all the way out, 50-yard line. 4, this end zone. And 5, the flag. That makes things easier. We do not award a player of the game tonight, but the rest of all this is the same. I do not have an interview.
You will get to sing, Dwayne.
I mean, if there's somebody in the crowd JB wants to talk to, he can, but
Why don't you ask Kara to send up one of her athletic trainers?
You probably wouldn't get a word out of it.
probably not. Be worth a shot. I can tell her though.
If not, I don't know, that Woodward that plays volleyball. Is she a cheerleader? She's a cheerleader? She in the band? That'd be nice to talk to somebody off the. She was pretty much the leader of the volleyball team, wasn't she? Not getting an answer on that.
She's thinking.
Okay, well then let's X that one.
Okay.
Well, one good thing, this will probably be a fast halftime.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Compared to last week, it can't be any longer.
Yeah, well.
How was breakfast this morning?
It was good. Missed you.
I thought about
should've come.
saying, you know what? I will
What
surprise
time
him.
you go to work?
I don't have to. I'm supposed to be there at 8:30, but I work commission, so I tell them I'm coming in at 9, and they don't complain because I bring in the most money. But
So he gets up at 8:45.
so I get up at 8:35.
You should have come.
I thought about it. I really did. Maybe tomorrow.
7:30 tomorrow.
What time was it this morning?
8:30. I'd have gone
You
to
told
whatever
me
time
7:30, 8:30. So
Yeah,
I was
whatever
like,
you
which
chose.
time?
Whatever you chose. I was giving you as much leeway as I could. I'd have said 9 o'clock if I'd have known you was a real professional. What we got?
Okay. This big country to the public. Are our pegs straight up and down? Okay, yeah, we're
Yes.
good. Just remember we take that commercial break. You start it, I'll finish it. 36 degrees.
Welcome to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. For those of you that are listening to us over the radio, it might be slightly warmer where you're at. Here we understand the temperature is 36 degrees, but by all the blankets that's wrapped around people and everything pulled up over their heads, it's probably a little bit cooler in that wind, Austin.
I was going to say, that's not factoring in the wind chill. There is a small breeze coming from the direction of KFC, but looking for a fun matchup nonetheless. As you mentioned, there are not a whole lot of fans here as of now, but we still do have about 15 minutes till first kick, so look for them definitely to file in here as we get closer to kickoff. We want to thank you for listening to us here on 103.5 Big Country. As he mentioned, he's J.B. Brufman. I'm Austin Bess, and this is Covington Cougar football. We're 0-0 tonight. We ended the regular season 7-3, but this is not the regular season. It's win or go home for the Covington Cougars, and they will play host to Auburn tonight here at Casey Field.
Playoff football, buddy. It's really good to be here, and I tell you what, we got a good matchup coming up tonight.
It's really nice to have it be a home matchup because
yes.
the past 3 years we've done this as a team. We've had to travel to places such as Northwood, to Hayside, to J.I. Burton, to Perry McClure last year. That one wasn't so bad, but to travel right across the street from the radio station, that's real nice.
Yes, it is. It's good to be home, be able to be here. It's going to be a good ball game tonight. Auburn is certainly coming in here wanting to move on, as is Covington. The wind and the cool that we're talking about, you never know how that's going to affect the team. Some of you out there listening have played this game, and you know what it's like to be out there on these really cold days, and particularly until you get warmed up, just how much more those hits hurt, and that ball stings a little bit. Now, whichever team recovers from that and gets into the flow, gets more natural with what's taking place, they're going to have at least an edge, at least as things begin to roll. So we're going to see what happens, Austin.
You're exactly right. It's as much a physical matchup as it is a mental matchup tonight for both of these high school squads. We wish them both the best of luck. Obviously, we want to see Covington pull away and move on to the second round, and we will see that here in the next couple of minutes. So first, we do want to thank our pregame sponsor tonight and all regular season long, Allegheny Farm Bureau. Randy Perkins and Company are good to us, and they're good for the community. They're a multi-line insurance agency offering home life, health, and more. They're located on Monroe Avenue here in Covington. Randy Perkins and Company, they need you to call them if you're looking for insurance. 540-962-3961. That's Allegheny Farm Bureau, proud sponsor for the Covington Cougar pregame show. As promised, another edition of the Coach's Corner coming up next. We're going to pick Coach Jones's brain on tonight's matchup because I'm going to be real honest. Didn't know a whole lot about Auburn. We're about to find out a little bit about them right after this 3-minute timeout on 103.5 Big Country.
Did you know they were the Eagles? deferred. They're kicking.
Welcome back to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington has deferred here at the coin toss as we get set for the Cougars to make their way from end zone to midfield through the band and to their respective sidelines. Auburn has already entered the field. Covington waiting on their captains to make this run along with them. Of course, captains Blake Woodzell, Dylan Howard, Garrett Crawford, and, of course, number 3, K.J. Moore. As you can hear in the background.
A lot more emotion from the Covington players than Auburn. I don't know how to interpret that. I don't know whether it's just keeping warm or whether the cold's getting to one or the other or what. But real interesting also to note, and of course I would do this too, I would defer. But he did note in his, the coach did note a couple of really good points in his interview. One of those points was the opening drive from last week when Covington was able to get the ball and keep possession of that ball for 6 minutes, ending in a score. Now, they're going to start on defense tonight, so what you want is a quick 3 and out, and then a 6-minute drive. Put points on the board.
Absolutely. Another point he made was it's going to be a tall order for the defense tonight because we're facing an offense very similar to the one that we run in the fact that they run that little bit of option. They may dive it up the middle. They may take the quarterback around the edge, and they may pitch it around the edge. So definitely a game of staying at home for the defense.
I realize when looking at the comparative teams that Auburn has played a lot of playoff quality teams. But many of those teams that beat them, they did not have real impressive records either. Now, Covington has been beaten, but has played some pretty strong teams in reference to this. So we're going to see if the schedule has any bearing in reference to who's able to be what. I will put particularly Riddick on the outside as being someone who can probably contain this option offense.
We want to thank, again, Allegheny Farm Bureau for sponsoring the pregame show. Give them a call if you are looking for insurance, 962-3961. Covington will be kicking off here momentarily. We want to thank you for listening to us here on the FM dial and watching at home or maybe at work on Facebook.
Now, it looks like he's kicking with the wind. He might put this in the end zone here.
Smith in for the kick for Covington. Good kick. They're going to have to backtrack. Fielded at about the 5-yard line, out across the 15. And he's going to be corralled just outside the 20. Looks to be about the 17-yard line where they're going to mark that one dead. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles of Auburn. Tackle made by Garrett Crawford.
There were only 3 blue jerseys that were not at the point of the tackle. That speaks really well for the recognition, the lane coverage, and then the convergence that they had on that play. He wanted to run up the middle, but that wasn't there. He tried to break to the outside to his right, but that wasn't there. So we will see now just how well we're able to deal with this option offense that they're coming up in.
1st and 10 for Auburn. Going to run the dive play straight ahead, pick up 1, maybe 2 yards out to the 20-yard line. And nowhere to run in the middle on 1st down for the Eagles. Nice job of the defensive front for Covington.
Yeah, they did a real good job. They made contact there at the line of scrimmage and were able to maintain until they got some reinforcements.
Desmond Jones making the stop, one of many on that front line for Covington's defense. 2nd and 8 for Auburn. They're going to run the sweep near sideline, and Covington does a fantastic job of sealing the edge. There is a flag down at the end of that play.
They did a good job. Riddick got over here as well as some others. They kind of piled up on this left side with their wingback and a couple of other people. You could tell this was where they wanted to run. This wasn't an option. As you called it, it was a sweep, but Covington defeated it immediately.
K.J. Moore making the stop there for the Cougars on defense, and that penalty will go against Auburn and back them up. I'm assuming a hold penalty was called there.
Let's see what Covington decides to do, if they're going to accept it or if they're going to decline it, because there was a – they did decline. So they're going to put that's not a bad move. This makes it 3rd down now and a long way to go for Auburn.
WKEY Covington, Clifton Forge, 103.5 Big Country, J.B. Brofman, Austin Bess. Covington Cougar football, 3rd and 8 for Auburn now here, first offensive possession. They're going to run the option play. Quarterback decides to pitch. he was going to get hammered. He figured, why not let the running back get hammered? Nice tackle on the outside by 20, Jayon Miller. And a great defensive stand there, the first defensive stand for Covington here early in this first quarter.
Coach Jones said that the team would know where they needed to be, and we've seen that all season long. They're well prepared, and they executed. They had, as he mentioned earlier, they had a man on the quarterback, they had a man on the pitch man. Miller did a great job of taking the pitch man out of the play.
4th and 12, Auburn forced to punt from their own 5. Good high kick, and Moore is going to attempt to field it, fumble it, and Covington saying they were able to fall on it. Auburn saying they fell on it, and the referees will
Auburn had first shot, but I think number 5 is the man with the ball.
You're exactly right. Nice hustle play in there by number 5, Ed Tyson.
His hand is a little bit iffy there. I tell you, it gets tough reaching that hand, and particularly in the cold.
Absolutely.
How he got that ball, I do not know. He should not. He was not the first person with. He was not the person with the best shot at that ball.
That was a tough a field job for KJ there. Maybe we should have let that one bounce. I can say that easily from up here, though.
If he fields it, he's probably going to score. But where he had to field it, he was in amongst a group of people where the safest thing would have been to have let it bounce.
I don't think they thought he was going to attempt to catch it.
I don't think
they had him
either.
surrounded. Yeah. So 1st and 10 for your Covington Cougars in Auburn territory to start their first offensive drive. The 44-yard line. KJ pulls it. Going to bring it here near sideline.
Speed.
And he is going to take this one to the house. Put 6 on the board. One play. They take it 45 yards for the score. Covington leads it here early in the first quarter, 6-0 as we await the point after or 2-point conversion try.
44-yard run, and I don't think he was touched.
No.
They tried. Auburn tried to do what Covington did to them. They tried to put a person on a person. Covington executed blocks. Nobody got off of their blocks, and nobody was able to get there. And they could not match the speed. He ran right by somebody that had an angle.
Covington will go for 2 here early in this one, as they look to the sideline for the final call from Coach Jones. As we've seen all season long, they wait till that last second to make their adjustment. Moore's going to keep it himself, and he is going to puzzle his way inside. Now, to me, it looks like he's got it, and to the officials he does. So 8-0 Covington strikes after a 3-and-out. Nice job by their defense. Moore takes it 45 yards. They lead it here at home 8-0. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Eight 0 Covington leads it here at home. Here's the kick from Miller on special teams, his second of the night. Again, a booming kick. That one's going to bounce into the end zone, an automatic touchback in high school football rules. And the Auburn Eagles will get their second try on offense at the 20-yard line.
Well, Coach Jones mentioned in the interview, he said that long drive that Covington started with last week really was demoralizing to the other team, and I agree with him. I don't know how much more demoralizing it can get that you stop them 3-and-out, and then you on your first offensive play take it in from 44 yards out, particularly when you got a break on the punt fielding, because that looked like something Auburn was going to come away with.
All momentum leads to Covington here so far in this one. First down for the Eagles. Dive play, almost breaks that one for a big gain. Still pretty good sizable gain there. Moore makes the tackle after about an 8 or 9 yard pickup on first down. Second and short coming.
Yeah, I believe we had a run blitz on that one, and I think we ran right by the first man thinking that they were going to try to go to the outside with the pitch play. I think. There was a big hole.
9:40 left here in the first quarter. Covington leads at 8-0 here at Casey Field. 2nd and 1 for the Eagles, and a whistle and a flag comes down at the start of that play. That leads me to believe maybe a false start or maybe illegal motion.
He went over and spoke to an Auburn player. They're going to pick up the flag.
They are going to pick up the flag.
Which I've got to say, I didn't see anything before that play started on either side. So
2nd and 1 coming after they wave off the flag.
Hand to the big man or try to break the big one. This is not a bad play to.
I think you jam it up inside and get your first down and get some momentum back. Looks like they're going to do that, but the quarterback decides to keep it off of the option play. Out to the outside, he's able to pick up a few. The first down, Ed Tyson makes the stop on defense for the Covington Cougars.
Good staying at home and being where you needed to be. He was one-on-one with the quarterback out there, and he came right down the line, so it wasn't real hard for him to pick up what he needed for the first. But he did hold his ground.
1st and 10. Much better offensive possession so far in this one for the Eagles of Auburn. They're going to run the dive play again. Quarterback once again going to keep it himself. One man to beat is Crawford. Nice tackle made by the strong safety Crawford. Otherwise, they may be putting 6 of their own on the board. A nice pickup there. Tackled right at the 50-yard line, and another first down coming for Auburn.
Good job by the last man with the chance. He did do a good job. I'm trying to figure out how he ran between what looked like 2 blue jerseys, and we didn't, somehow or another, we just missed that.
But Coach Jones is exactly right. This is very, very similar style to what we see Covington run on offense week in and week out. So 1st and 10 right at midfield. 8.5 left to play in the first quarter. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, pitches it outside, and nice containment by Kent Bullock coming up from, I believe, his linebacker position to make the stop off that pitch.
And make a stop for a loss of about a yard. Now, it looked to me like he was going to be able to break that thing to the outside, particularly once he made that pitch. But Covington did a good job of stringing. But now, remember we talk quite often, you expect your running back to make somebody miss. If he made Bullock miss, he was gone. If Bullock doesn't make that stop, I don't think the inside-out protection would have got there.
A loss of 1 there. 2nd and 11. Again, the quarterback will pull it, keep it himself, and off that left side, he'll pick up what looks to be 3, 4, 5 yards, something along those lines. 3rd and much more manageable coming for Auburn next.
Covington will get a little quicker in reading this. Right now, you've got to watch your keys because they do get rid of the ball at the last minute to somebody somewhere. So you got to make sure that you know where they're going. And right now, he's just finding a little bit of a crease, and that's what he's taking. But Covington will get a little bit better at predicting where he's going.
Nick Humphreys made the stop that last offensive possession. 3rd down. Little out route out to the outside. And they've got the first down, but a little slow to get up is the receiver for Auburn. Nice pitch and catch there. Well-designed play.
I believe he came down awkwardly on his shoulder. They're going to bring somebody in for him. That's what they need to do.
KJ Moore once again makes the stop there. Couple of tackles we've called his name tonight on defense. Normally it's the offensive side of the ball.
Well, when KJ's having to make a tackle, we haven't seen him. He hasn't played quite as much defense recently until tonight as well. But you put that speed back there, and it can help make a difference.
1st and 10. Quarterback rolls out, going to keep it on the ground. And he is hit out of bounds, tackled by Bullock after a pickup of what appears to be 5 yards. 6:40 left to play here in the first quarter. 8-0. Covington leads it here at home, first round of the playoffs.
They need to take their one young man out. He's not recovered from the previous play. And there he goes. He's going off the side.
2nd and 5, what the Eagles face now. They are.
Auburn is making some adjustments. They're doing a good job of taking the defensive end, is what I'm going to call him, out of the play and not letting him get across the line of scrimmage to disrupt and force decisions.
Ball spotted on the Covington 34-yard line. They come out 2 wide receivers, 1 back set. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and nice job of containment there on the edge by 5 Ed Tyson. A much better job on the defensive side of the ball there for Covington. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Something else that Auburn has that helps create some of these creases, that's a wide split they've got between their offensive linemen. So that makes a little bit more room that you're responsible for with your coverage. Your lane now gets a little bit bigger.
I misspoke. They did pick up 2 yards there on 2nd. That'll bring up 3rd and 3, not 3rd and 5. Right around 6 minutes left in this opening quarter. 2 wide receiver set once again. Quarterback again going to keep it.
He does a dive, but he's not going to be quite far enough, I don't think.
To me, I believe he's going to be about a yard short, maybe even half a yard. Jabari Williams stands him up, not allowing him to pick up the yard to gain. And that'll bring up decision time for the Eagles. 4th down and 1.
They do have a kicker that Mike can get it there, but he would be kicking against the wind. They're going to take a moment to measure this, which I think that's the right thing to do. Also gives both coaches a little bit of time to decide how they might defend it. I do not look for a field goal attempt. I do look for a quarterback sneak, some type of run. They're going to be short by about a football.
So that will bring up a 4th and about, we'll say, a half a yard. For Auburn.
We are 5:45 left in this first quarter as they approach this 4th down play deep in Covington territory. Covington up 8-0.
Here's the call. Quarterback under center, just a dive play. He's got the 1st down, then some. Well-executed play by their offensive line. Very easily could that have been stood up by Covington, but the quick count on that snap, they're able to convert on 4th. The drive is alive.
Good to make that real quick count. Quarterback just stepped up, took snap, and dove. Because your defense has got to be alert for the hard count on that as well as for the play that's coming. So you take advantage of where the defense might be thinking.
They're going to hand it off on 1st down. Oh, quarterback keeps it himself. Covington's got to be careful. They're going to lull them to sleep with that. Of course, they are cutting off that handoff. But Auburn's making them pay with the quarterback, the freshman quarterback, may I add. 2nd and 1 coming.
Yeah, his decision-making so far has been pretty good in reference to what he's attempting to do when he does let it go and when he keeps it. And right now Covington is reading that fullback when he's going up into the line, and the quarterback is able to sift his way through.
2nd and 1 for the Eagles. Quarterback once again under the center. This time they are going to try the dive play. Covington snuffs it out. Actually lost a yard on that one. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. 4:20 left in this opening quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, 8-0. Covington strikes after their defense stands for a 3-and-out. Moore takes it 45 yards for the score. And then the 2-point conversion also made by Moore there. 4 minutes left. 3rd and 2. Here's the call. Quarterback once again under center. Again, the quarterback draw, and you could have drove a Mack truck through the middle of that line. Another conversion, and the drive is still alive for the Eagles. Moore, once again, the last defender really coming up and make the stop.
Good job of blocking by the offensive line for Auburn. Now, there was a natural hole where he ran, so it wasn't to push the people off the spot. It was keep them from filling the gap, and they did that very well.
1st and 10.
Ball's down.
Ball's on the ground, still on the ground. The flag comes in from the back official, and they are going to call a false start against the Eagles. So, crisis averted for them. I'm sure their fans took a sigh of relief there, even though it was a penalty against their team. They traveled well tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of crisis averted for us, too, because that ball sifted out, and one of the backs picked it up, and he had clear running around the side. So could have worked bad for everybody.
A win-win nonetheless
Yes.
for both. 1st and 15 now for Auburn. Ball
Now,
spotted
this might
on the
be in
17.
the range of Covington's ability to stop.
Ball on the 17. Quarterback drops back, looking to pass. That little out route we saw him succeed with earlier in the drive is complete, and they pick up what looks to be 6 yards there on first down. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, their receiver did a good job of watching the ball into his hands, and then when he was hit, he stretched out, and he picked up another yard, maybe 2, just on after he was hit stretching out.
Again, the tackle made on defense by K.J. Moore. 2nd and 9. Right around 3 to play. And the clock is stopped. That one went out of bounds. Quarterback's going to hand it off straight ahead. Covington's not letting that go anywhere. A loss of a yard or 2 there. That'll bring up 3rd and long. This is exactly where Covington's defense wants to be right now.
Yes, it is. And they've done a good job on that. Now, Covington's defense is reading that quick handoff, and they're doing a good job on that. If that play was making some headway, we would have some trouble. But taking that away now puts a greater burden on what the rest of the offense can do. And Covington has the speed to make up some of that ground.
Hyder with the stop on 2nd. Here's 3rd for the Eagles. 3rd and 11. Man in motion. Quarterback rolls out, looking to pass. Under pressure, immense pressure.
He's down.
He slides down, and
He's down.
that will count as a loss of yards quite a bit, all the way back at the 27-yard line. Number 25 makes the stop. We actually don't have a jersey number. Oh, so okay. On the 25, right around 2 to play.
He rolled out to the side. I didn't see where his receivers was going. I was watching what he was doing. That was a tough spot. Now, we said they had a field goal kicker. He's lining this thing up on the 34. This is a 44-yard kick, and it's still not with the wind. It's
Looks like
not
it's
gonna
got
be,
looks like
it's not going to be anywhere near good.
Nope. Going to be short and to the left. So Covington's defense once again bends, doesn't break, stops them. And a lot of time came off of that clock. I'm sure Coach Jones will take it. They're getting the ball back. 2nd offensive possession coming for the Cougars.
Well, from Jones's predictions tonight, this is going to be a high offensive scoring game. Now, Auburn's had the ball twice, and they've not been able to put any points. This is Covington's 2nd possession. Their first possession ran just one play, 44 yards for Moore, and he put points on the board. So let's see if Covington's offense can still move at a pretty high rate. 2
wide receivers here near home sideline as they're facing KFC to give you an idea. Moore will be under center, 2-back set, Bullock and Smith in the backfield. Going to hand it to Bullock off that left side, and he's going to just backpedal his way out to about the 25, and his forward progress will be stopped. A couple of yards there.
And it's good to be able to see that we'll be able to make some good yardage off that dive play. And hopefully it'll do as it's done in the past, find a way to make some big yardage. They're holding their ground, too. They're used to playing an option team in practice, so they were holding their ground and not flowing to one particular spot.
2nd and 4. Moore going to keep it this time. Try to get to the outside. And he did not have the ball. I was completely wrong there. That was, I believe, Smith on the outside.
We're going to have a flag down.
And they're gonna spot the ball just about a yard short of the yard to gain, but again, they're gonna wave
pick up the flag.
Yeah, they're gonna pick up the flag here.
And they're gonna.
What a weird series of events here.
Yeah, I think KJ. Not sure where he's at. He's made 2 decisions that probably he'd like to have back. One was fielding the first punt, and then the decision to keep on that play and not immediately pitch.
So they're calling it an incomplete pass, a little shuttle pass.
Yeah, he was in front of him when he let that thing go. So, yeah, I don't know if he crossed the line of scrimmage yet.
3rd and 4. Moore rolls out, is looking to throw across the middle, a little bit high, and it is intercepted. The intended receiver was Woodzell, just a little bit over the outstretched hands, and Auburn coming away with a big turnover there. An interception.
We got a flag. And I got a feeling it's going to be against Covington. We got a Covington player that is real upset about something.
55 seconds left in this first quarter. 8-0 the score, but a costly turnover here for Covington. An interception by Moore. And great field position coming for Auburn, maybe even better than that after we find out the result of this penalty. And it appears Auburn's happy with the call, which means more than likely it's going against the Cougars. And it will. An unsportsmanlike call.
And I still think it comes back to whatever the Covington player was upset about. Now, I didn't see it. Don't have foggiest idea what he was upset about, but he immediately issued his complaints.
So 1st and 10 coming now for the Eagles. The defense coming back out for Covington after being driven down the field, standing when they need to. And again, momentum now shifting a little bit towards the Eagles side of things. And that must have been a 15-yard penalty. They're marking it off. And
personal foul, 15 yards.
At the end of this, it's going to be down right at the 15-yard line. So very good field position now for Auburn. First down, quarterback under center, man in motion. They're going to hand it to him off that sweep, right side of the line, still on his feet. And he is going to dive ahead into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn, putting points on the board. We're in for a game tonight, folks. 48 seconds left in the opening quarter. Both teams with a touchdown. Covington leads at 8-6, but we await the point after for the Eagles. Just an easy jet sweep and wide open gap on that right side. They will kick the point after. Snap is good. Kicks good and high, long and good. So 8-7 the score, 48 seconds left in the opening quarter at Casey Field. We hope you'll stick with us on 103.5 Big Country. Welcome back to Booty Albert Stadium, Casey Field. For J.B. Brofman, I'm Austin Best. The score here in the first round playoff game for Covington, 8-7. They hold a 1-point lead here, and they will receive the ball for the first time tonight after 7 points put on the board there for Auburn. That coming off of K.J. Moore interception a moment before that.
Yeah, just kind of a series of plays that we just didn't make some good decisions on. So let's see where we can come back to here.
Look for this to be a low kick. Squibb fielded right at the 25. On his feet out to about the 37. That's Blake Woodzell, the return man on special teams for the blue and gold. And the offense will get another crack at it here.
And Covington has an opportunity here to kind of pick themselves up. But it's not it's what you do with the opportunities that come next. You can't linger on what just took place. You've got to move forward, and Covington has shown that they can do that in the past. Perry McClure is one of those good examples.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. You can tell we've worked together a while. 1st and 10, Moore under center. One wide receiver here near sideline. Moore's going to keep it, try to get to the edge, forced back inside, still on his feet, out across the 50, the 40, and he's taking it to the house. Nobody's catching him. Boy, he is a special talent for these Covington Cougars.
Yes, he is. And then when you want to talk about speed, they don't have anybody that can match him, at least not on their defense side. They do not.
Two
That's his second run for a touchdown, and I've got him at 108 yards on those two carries alone.
Rough numbers, but he's definitely over 100 yards, definitely. The
Yes.
first run was for about 45, and that one was 75.
Covington did let me graduate, but none of the math teachers showed up when they gave me the diploma.
So Covington will go for 2 here. 65. That was a 65-yard touchdown, my spotter's telling me. He's judging my Allegheny math, see. We're going to pitch it to the outside to Smith, who fights
power.
his way forward, and he is in for another 2.
Flag.
A flag comes in from this side official.
Good spot.
So as it stands right now, the 2 is
Probably
good.
a hold.
We're waiting for the call here. And it
Nope.
appears it will be a false start on the Cougars. They'll have to replay it. Let's just do that again, just from about 5 yards the wrong direction. We do want to thank you for listening to us here on 103.5 Big Country. We are also streaming live video tonight on our Facebook page. If you're near a tablet, phone, or a computer, you can check that out. But we do appreciate you listening to us on the FM dial.
Coach Jones wanted a clarification on that call.
He's artistic down there.
Yes, he is.
So Covington will be forced to go for 2 once again, back at around the 10-yard line. Very close, the 7. Moore under center. Man in motion is Bullock out of the backfield, looking to pass. Moore under pressure, still looking to pass. Got a man, just underthrew it. Woodsell wide open in the end zone, but falls incomplete. Still the score, 14-7. Still 30 seconds left in this first quarter. We may not get out of the first quarter. Stick around. You'll find out after this 30-second timeout.
Covington has the lead in this ball game, 14-7. They've got 2 touchdowns on the board, one 2-point PAT. It does not take long for Covington to score. When they've done all their scoring on long runs, 2 of them by Moore. So what we see here now is a good opportunity for Covington's defense to kind of pick up a little bit and get some of that steam that they had before. Now, Covington's defense didn't do bad the last time. Auburn did get a touchdown, but they had to do it on 2 possessions because Covington gave it right back deep in Covington territory.
Miller in for the kick. Good high kick this time. Going to be fielded back at around the 23 here near sideline, trying to find a little bit of room, and he will be forced out of bounds, actually into the fence, but that was not an illegal hit on Covington. Bullock making the stop here on special teams. Decent field position for the Eagles of Auburn.
Their returner did a real good job. He had a small blocker in front of him, and he read it well. And when he did, he was able to break to the outside and pick up another 5 or 6 yards. So Auburn does start with some good field position. They've tried to run up the middle, not much success. They've had success with quarterback keep, a little bit with the pitch, some with the sweep. And their passing has been excellent. It's all been little short throws primarily, but they have passed at the right time. So let's see what's in their playbook for this series.
1st and 10. Quarterback under center. Dive play handed off straight ahead. And maybe a 2-yard, 1-yard pickup there. Not much more than that. Covington's done a nice job of not allowing them to run in between the tackles on that dive play. Nice stop made by Nick Humphreys. 2nd or 3rd tackle for him tonight.
I'm hoping it's recognition and knowing who's got the ball, because if he'd have kept that ball to the outside, he'd have been there. That's going to be the end of this first quarter. Covington is up 14-7. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back to Casey Field after this 1-minute timeout.
14-7 the score here as we enter the second quarter. Covington leads it here at home. The first Region 1C playoff game of the 2017 high school football season. For J.B. Brofman, I'm Austin Best. You're listening to Covington Cougar Football on 103.5 Big Country. I think I got everything in that I needed to say there.
Yes, you did. Now it's up to Covington. Let's see what they talked about here during this couple minutes that they had a chance to break. See what Covington's defense might be able to do here. First play only went for a couple of yards.
2nd and 8, quarterback under center is looking to pass that little out route, and Moore is going to converge, make the tackle right at the 40. So he will be short of the yard to gain. That'll bring up still a reasonable 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
He did a good job. If he doesn't make that tackle, there is no inside-out coverage that's going to get here before he makes a big gain. Auburn's offense, I have to give credit to their play caller. They throw in that pass early. They don't wait until it's a have-to-pass situation. Now, their formation is changing here a little bit. They're spreading 2 people wide. Early on, they had everybody in.
Quarterback's going to keep it himself. Covington not fooled by the 2 wide to that far side. That was a design run all along, and a pickup of only 2 yards there. That'll bring up 4th and 3. Ed Tyson making the stop for the blue and gold.
He did a good job of holding his ground, clearing his blocker, and getting in position. Now they're setting up for a punt right here. Covington sent a man in. Now he's coming back out. So
Covington's punt formation, they've got Moore back deep and are inside the 30, but they've also got, I believe this is Miller right around the 40. Kind of a prevent style thing. And the punt is up. Moore this time is going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a good Auburn bounce inside the 15-yard line. So the worst starting field position of the night for the Covington Cougars is upcoming, but so far 3 offensive possessions, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
Now before that first punt tonight, he'd have fielded that ball. He wouldn't have given it a chance to roll.
Yep.
But he played it a little bit safer, and you could hear the coaches over there saying, play it safe.
That's right.
That wasn't quite the words they used, but that's what they were saying.
1st and 10. Ball on the 14-yard line. Moore will be under center, 2-back set. Dive play up the middle with Smith. Breaking it loose. He's out across the 30. Down to the 33-yard line, rumbling, stumbling, anything but fumbling. Nice pickup there on 1st down. They're moving the chains.
Of course, I am a Covington fan, but what I will say is he broke some tackles. That was some power running. And then he had a little bit of explosion once he cleared the first set of tacklers. And
he could see daylight.
Yes, he could.
1st and 10 once again. A little bit better field position.
He got back what they lost on the roll of that punt.
Moore's going to keep it himself. To the edge he goes, slips down, and that'll be a pickup of only 5 yards. Only 5 yards. It's bad that I said only 5 yards.
Yes, it is.
Of course, when he goes for 45 on the first play and 64 on the other touchdown run of the night for him, only 5 yards is really only 5 yards.
If his foot hadn't slipped out from underneath him, Auburn would have seen that great right to left move that he moves vertically, so to speak, and then he'd have been gone.
Again, the dive play straight up the middle, this time with Smith, and it's off to the races. Does he have enough speed? He doesn't, but he fights off defenders the entire way down the field, deep into Auburn territory at the 16-yard line. So, again, that's twice on this offensive possession. We've seen some daylight right in the middle of the field.
Folks, I want to clue you to a couple things. First of all, if you're watching on WKEY's Facebook page, you'd have noticed you just thought he was continuing his fake. They had their eyes on Moore. They were looking for Moore. They were not looking for him, and so they're going to call a timeout here. Let's keep it here for a moment. You want to? I would, but I'm not over there.
That's okay. I'm on this side. I'll take it from here. Allegheny Motors, Clark's Performance Diesel, Premier Bank, the Snack Shack, Allegheny Farm Bureau, of course, bringing you the pregame show tonight. Coochie's Pizzeria, Tri-County Furniture, Gerald Franson Insurance Agency, Trani's Grill, bringing you the halftime show here in 9 minutes and 23 seconds from right now. Alcova Mortgage, Chapman Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Halsey's Auto Repair, Fudge Street Cafe, the post-game show sponsor later tonight, S.J. Niehawk Lumber Company, Robert Garton Automotives, Jackson River Community Credit Union, and finally Highlands Community Bank.
Good job. Good job. Coming back to what we want to point out is first of all, if you're watching on WKEY's Facebook page, you'd just really, it was amazing how that play worked out. They did not move at all towards where the fake was at. Everybody on the edges stayed on the edge waiting to see where KJ went next.
2nd and 10. What the scoreboard shows, but the sideline thing shows first down. So I'm not.
It's first.
I was going to say it's got to be first down after the big run from Smith. That's the last thing we saw.
But let's keep our eye on that because we don't know who else is picking up on that. But you did say the chains are right.
Moore's going to keep it himself, and he is going to be flushed out to the outside. Going to have to take a loss on that play. Nowhere to go on the sideline. Looked like a busted play. Looked like he wanted to hand it off and was a little slow to pull it there. And they will lose a good 5 yards there on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and long.
It definitely didn't work out, whether it was to the credit of the Auburn defense, which did not miss its opportunity, or whatever. They were again on him. Now they are coming up quick. They're working to stop the run, which that's what they should do. It's really killed them so far tonight. Let's see if Covington looks to pass. They tried one time and it was an interception.
2 wide receivers far sideline. Riddick and Crawford. He is looking to pass. Across the middle, Crawford makes the catch right around the 16-yard line, so they pick up the yards lost and then some. That'll bring up a much more manageable 3rd down.
And he did real well. He just settled down in a spot. He let his receiver break he went down the right hash marks, and he cut back to the left in the middle, and he put the ball right where he needed to be.
So
now, the offensive line gave him a lot of protection on that play. Again, they were probably trying to contain more than let Moore get to the outside.
3rd and 7, again, Moore looking to pass. Under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's going to have to take this one and run. He's got the first down, kicks it back up inside. He's wanting the touchdown. He is going to be just about a yard short of that marker over there. And that'll bring up 1st and goal from what appears to me to be the 1, maybe 2-yard line.
Talk about the competitor that he is. When they had the broken play, and he was forced to the outside, he realized he wasn't going anywhere. And that's the first time that I can actually recall seeing him just go ahead and take what he could and go out of bounds.
Right.
Now, he was down on the edge on that one, and he could have easily stepped out of bounds and saved himself a hit. But what did he do? He turned inside and took a couple poundings.
That says a lot about the competitive nature of this young man, for sure.
Yes, it does.
So 1st and goal from the 1. 8 minutes left to play in the first half, 14-7 the score as of right now. Moore going to keep it. Walk inside for the score. I mean, literally, walk inside. He saw the lane and said, hey, this is no big deal for me. I'm just going to kind of take this easy. Put 3 on the board for him tonight. Stacking the stat sheet.
I'm sure Covington will again go for 2.
I'd like to see them kick a few, personally. But you're exactly right. They will go for 2 here.
Well, they feel like this is what they need to do, so they're going to stay with it, and they have gotten better. There for a while, we couldn't never tell if they were actually going to get one or not.
Moore's going to keep it. He's going to be forced to run it, and he's going to be about 3 inches too short. The 2-point try, no good. So the score, with 8:02 left in the first half, Covington leads at 20-7. Auburn will get the ball on special teams when we come back.
I wonder what it felt like for Moore. He's used to being tired when he scores a touchdown. That was only a 1-yard dip, and nobody hit him on the way in. So Covington is up 20-7. 8:02 left in the second quarter as the kick. This time he goes deep. It's going to be fielded on the left side. He's going right immediately to the outside on that side. Covington holds its own, brings him down just around the 35, 36-yard line, Austin.
Nice job filling the lanes on special teams there. Ed Tyson and DeAndre Hyder making the stop on that far visitor sideline. 1st and 10 coming now for Auburn, and they're looking to continue their scoring ways here. Came up a little bit short that last time. Ended up having to punt. 20-7 if you are just joining us here on 103.5 Big Country. For J.B. Brufman, I'm Austin Bess. Under 8 minutes to play here in the opening half.
See which defensive effort we get. We've had some real good ones, and we've had some that we couldn't find the quarterback or the ball. Let me put it that way, couldn't find the ball. We almost found it.
Yeah, we might have found it a little early. Now, will that?
Now he
was
pointed
he
at somebody,
off?
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see any movement.
Looks to be an offsides against Covington, but the question is, was he drawn offsides? The officials.
Well, the guy they're talking to, I know he didn't see it. He was on the far side.
I was going to say the officials are meeting here to discuss this one, and it will go against Covington encroachment. So 5 easy yards there for the Eagles. 1st and 5 now coming their way, and they'll mark this one off, and it will be spotted at the 40. Let me move the camera here. Bear with me if you're watching on Facebook. I'm calling it as I see it and trying to move the camera at the same time. A lot on the plate.
They won't let me touch the camera. That's a smart move, too. Here they come up. He takes the snap, and he's going to hand off. Big hole in the middle for their running back, so he's going to pick up 6 yards and a first down. That was their fullback, I reckon.
You said it well. We haven't seen the dive play been real successful for them tonight, but this time they're able to convert, pickup of 7. Nice tackle made by Ed Tyson, number 5 for the blue and gold. Ball is now spotted on the 47-yard line, very close to midfield.
This is an offense, and I'm sure that Auburn usually likes to pick up a little bit more yardage per play. I think Covington's defense has been a real match for them so far, even though there have been some inconsistent moments. They've not broke the big one.
Quarterback under center. Again, the dive play straight ahead, and again, a little bit of daylight there.
Now, they've been running a dive play a lot, Austin, and the last couple times they've run it, Covington's done a good job of catching up to it. Does this mean that Covington is now looking for that to go past the dive and forward on with the option, or are they just not picking up the ball?
They better stay religious on that quarterback. They better keep their eyes on him because he's got some wheels on him and an arm for that matter. So absolutely continue to stop that inside press, but keep your eye on him. 2nd and 6, man in motion. They're going to hand it to him. The jet sweep, far visitor sideline, and nice stop on the outside there, trying to get a jersey number. Pickup of only a few there. That'll bring up 3rd down. And now we've got an official whistle here. Tackle made by Sean Smith, finally the jersey number there. On that far side of the field, it is very difficult to see. And the whistle by the official is a penalty against Auburn. That'll be a holding penalty. So that will be enforced, back them up. Coach Jones is saying mark it off.
Well, that explains a little bit. I've been wondering how they've been able to take away some of our outside defenders on those edge scenarios. We've got some good people out there, and they've done it. They've done some jobs on them, I tell you.
Ball now back into Auburn territory, spotted on the 43.5-yard line, 44-yard line we'll call it. 2nd and 14. They'll replay the down. Under 6.5 left to play here in the second quarter. 20-7, Covington leads it. Quarterback for Auburn drops back, looking to pass, under pressure, got nowhere to throw it, and he is going to dirt it right around midfield. Covington's looking for a penalty,
I'm not sure if it gets
intentional
to the line
grounding.
of scrimmage or not. That's going to be close.
Now, I think it got past the line of scrimmage, but I think what they're saying is there was nobody there even remotely close to that pass. I mean, he was at least 10, 15 yards off the end of the route.
Yeah, he did break the pocket area, and he did get it past the line of scrimmage.
That's a good. I think that's a good no call.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 14.
Excellent defensive job by Covington. They had the coverage and they had the pressure.
Again, they're going to run the sweep play, this time home sideline, and again, that's going nowhere, actually losing yards there.
And they missed the officials, and I'm not sure they could have seen it. They missed a hold on number 22. Somebody had a good grip on Mr. Hyder.
Nick Humphreys once again making the stop here on this near sideline for that loss, and that'll bring up 4th and 14, another punt situation for the Eagles from Auburn.
Real impressed with that defensive stand.
Absolutely. That's what we want to see, especially moving forward in the playoffs.
Let's see what Mr. Moore does with this punt.
They will get the kickoff good clean.
He's going to field her.
And he is going to field it at the 25, make the first man miss, and will be brought down just short of the 35-yard line. And Covington will get one more crack at it here with 5:36 left to play in the first half.
Covington has done a real good job. The last series, up until then, it was really more with big runs. I mean, they just couldn't find him, and when they found him, the only thing they saw was the back of his jersey. That's the best way to describe it. But on the last series, they were looking for more, and the inside running game for Covington just ate them right up.
1st and 10 for the Cougars. Moore once again will be under center, 2-back set. They're going to hand it to Bullock, I believe the ball carrier is, and he's going to fight forward. Nice job of securing that ball because they had him wrapped up right around the arms and the waist.
And they were on him. You're right. They had hands on the ball, but that was some real good power running. They had 2 people that were on him just around the line of scrimmage. To get 5 yards out of that play, or really 6, it shouldn't have happened. We give him credit.
Yeah, good pickup, too.
Yes.
6 yards. 2nd and 4 now for the blue and gold. Moore looking to the sidelines. They see how the defense is set, and they make their adjustments as needed. Smart tactics under center. Again, going to hand it off, dive play again.
Oh.
Bullock breaks a first couple of tackles, still on his feet, fighting ahead. Hold on to that football, son. He does, and powerful running from the Covington Cougar backs.
Oh,
both
buddy,
Smith
you said it.
and Bullock. We've
You
seen
said
in
it.
these
Man.
past two offensive possessions some aggressive running.
You see these drills where they run through these padded scenarios and they run through situations. Penalty against Auburn, I think. Yeah, they picked up the flag, and they're going to move the – let's see what this is.
Personal foul call.
Face mask.
A face mask against the Eagles, so that'll be an additional couple of yards there on the end of that one.
But he just did not stop his legs. When he got hit, his legs actually pounded faster.
Now into Auburn territory. Ball on the 34. Moore's going to keep it himself. Corralled in the backfield. You don't get to say that a whole lot. That'll be a loss of a few yards, 2 on first down.
They came after him really, really fast. He did not have a chance. He wanted the pitch. He did the right thing. He kept his hands on it. Had he made the pitch, even though it was a short side of the field, he might have picked up some big yardage. But they're going to stop Moore right now. They're going to take Moore away. And so far, except for that play, it hasn't worked for him.
2nd and 12. Moore going to hand it off straight ahead to Bullock. Got some room. He's across the 20, the 10, and he is able to keep it in bounds. Touchdown, Covington. Bullock making his mark in this second quarter, running the football. He made it all happen, really, that whole offensive possession.
And the coaches are doing it. They don't need. They're not calling me and asking me anything, but that's what they just need to do. Hand it to Bullock and Smith until such time as they find a way to stop them.
That's right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Run it till they stop you. Covington will go for 2, as almost routine now. You can come to expect that. 26-7 the score as it stands. Here's the 2-point try. They break the huddle. Moore will be once again under center. 1 wide receiver. Far sideline is Woodzell. 2-back set. They're going to run it straight up inside with Bullock, and he put all 8 points on the board for the Cougars. 28-7, 4:05 left to play. Covington leads it here at home. First round of the playoffs. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout on 103.5 Big Country.
Welcome back to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington, for the moment, has this game under control, 28-7, 4:05 left in the second quarter as Smith kicks off. He kicks a little bit deep. It's going to be fielded there around the 20-yard line on the left side of the field. He tries to break to the outside, but number 27 for Covington. He's not running. No, it's Hyder, number 22.
22. Again, that 22 and 27, those jersey numbers look very similar. I'm glad it's not just me here.
But now Hyder usually has that outside coverage on that side, and, buddy, he attacked it on that play and made a great open field tackle.
Ball now will be spotted at the 30. 10-yard return on special teams for Auburn.
It's not crunch time, have to do anything at the moment, but right now the way things are going, there has got to be urgency with Auburn. I don't know if they're going to try to throw more or pitch more. Let's see.
You got to create something. Their last few offensive drives, not very good. They're
Couldn't
going to
decide.
Pitch play here. Quarterback pitches back to the halfback, and no gain on first down. Corralled right at the line of scrimmage by a few blue and gold jerseys. 58's one of them, Tristan Hall. 22, DeAndre Hyder, another one I see there. So, again, a couple of blue jerseys making the stop, 2nd and 10.
What was beautiful about that play, and you said it well, blue jerseys had the right lanes and the right coverage. There was nobody out there that had a chance to go anywhere.
Under 3.5 left to play here in the first half. Covington, it's been all Covington, 28-7 here, first playoff game of the year. 2nd and 10. We've got a whistle coming in from this back official, a delay of game call.
Wow.
That's the first time we've seen that tonight. That did take quite a while. I thought we said a couple more words than we normally did in between plays.
Well, Auburn is I mentioned it earlier. Covington was bouncing a little bit more than Auburn was, and right now they are really kind of
they're hungry. They're hungry for it.
And Auburn just doesn't have any excitement to them. I mean, Covington scores real quick. Auburn fails to score, gets the ball back real quick, puts points on the board. They are so alive, and then Covington just takes it away from them for the rest of this half.
2nd and 15. Quarterback looking to pass under pressure. Riddick going to hit him first, and then the sack finally made by 65, Nick Humphreys. He's had a heck of a game on defense for the Cougars tonight.
And Covington, you got to be real proud of their defense because this requires – football will always be a team sport. There's no doubt about it. But when you get stretched like an offense like Auburn's can stretch you, it takes everybody. And right now that's what we're seeing. Early on, we couldn't get any pass rush. Now they can't find room to throw the ball. He's got his hand up in the air. There's going to be another delay of game if they don't. He's counting down the seconds right now. They won't get this off. They better call a timeout, and they have.
And they will call a timeout. Coach is not happy with the way his offense
Sometimes we know what we're doing, don't we?
Yeah, a couple of times. So with 3rd and 17, what Auburn faces when we come back after this.
We are back here at Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington in this playoff game against Auburn has a 28-7 lead. 2:34 left in this second quarter. Auburn is facing a 3rd down, and by the scoreboard, they've got 17 yards to go to get a first. Covington's defense has just progressed from being a little bit inconsistent on the first couple of series to being pretty dominating on the last two. Now, they've got two people spread out wide, and the rest of the team is huddled up. I don't know if that means pass play or not, Austin.
Well, 3rd and 17, you'd like to think. Man in motion for Auburn. Again, they're just going to keep it on the ground. I guess they're not going to try to force the issue here and maybe end up with a turnover. DeAndre Hyder, 22, going to make the stop, and a punt situation once again coming for Auburn. This is the 3rd offensive possession in a row they've been forced to punt. Give some credit to Covington's defense.
Now, Covington's going to do a quick huddle on the side. Have they called a timeout? Apparently they have. Somebody's called timeout. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. Covington up 28-7, 2:27 left in this first half. Welcome back, Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington getting ready to field this punt. K.J. Moore standing about the Covington 40-41 yard line, and the snap is back and the punt is up. He gets some high ones, and this is a beautiful high punt.
That one's spiraling.
Yeah, he's going to let it bounce, which that's the right thing to do, and it's going to roll, but this time not so bad. Covington's going to take possession near about the 36-37 yard line, Austin.
And again, after good decision-making by Moore here, after that first scary, questionable one we saw there in the first quarter, we haven't seen him field but one.
Yeah, he got so upset about it, he ran for 44 yards on the next play.
Yeah, he worked out that aggression well.
Yeah, he worked it out. Well, apparently not, because the next time he had to go 60-some yards for but he's really made some plays. Again, if you haven't had a chance to see this young man run the ball, you've got to make your way to come see him.
This team is special. If you
Yes,
haven't had
it
a
is.
chance to see them play, you're missing out. Really, you are. 1st and 10 for the Covington Cougars. Moore is looking to pass. Under pressure from the backside. He doesn't see it. Lofts it out, and it's going to fall incomplete, thank the Lord.
He got hit from the back. That's why they would loft it out there.
Never saw the man coming. Did fight off the block. And that'll bring up an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 now.
Now, you need to take a look at him real quick,
He's
although I
shaking
think
up a
he's
little bit.
okay.
Yeah.
He got hit from the back. He wasn't prepared for the hit. It's one of them things where he kind of looked like a bow being pulled back. He got pulled around in the body.
2nd and 10. 2:08 left to play here in the first half. 28-7. Covington holds the lead here at Casey Field. Moore under center. Man in motion is Smith out of the backfield. Again looking to pass. They're going to pass to Smith. Near sideline. He's got some room. Out across the 45. And he fights forward. If he doesn't pick up the first down. I believe he got it here.
I believe he did too. And if he
That's
doesn't
second
fight,
effort,
you
yeah.
called it right. He was stopped about a yard short. And I don't know how he knew where it was at, but he found it. And that was good. He was wide open when he caught that ball, but that inside-out convergence was right there, and then he cut back into the middle, and good decision.
That's maybe the first time we've seen them throw to the running back out of the backfield there. 1st and 10. Moore again looking to pass across the middle. Got a man in and out of the hands of the would-be receiver. That's Dylan Howard, number 7. Had the man right up the seam, a little slot route.
You do not see that happen with Covington receivers very often. We've seen it once or twice. They usually make some rather spectacular plays, but every now and then, and it is cold out here.
Yep, you got to keep
it
that
is cold.
You got to keep
Those
that
are
in.
some numb fingers.
I was going to say it's 33 degrees, and that's without the wind chill. And we're in the press box, and I'm a little chilly.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely, weather plays a factor in this. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Clock is stopped at 1:37. Moore again looking to pass. Got some protection.
Screen pass.
Little screen pass out to Smith, who kicks it up midfield. Still on his feet, trying to fight ahead. He's got the first down again because of that second effort.
Well, I was afraid the second and third effort he was going to step back too far, and then he was going to get him.
Right.
He did step a little bit too far back, but, yeah, he got it. You're exactly right.
So they move the chains. The clock will stop until they get them set. No, it won't. It will continue to run. 1:20 and counting left in this second quarter. Covington with a little bit of urgency here, looking to extend this lead, put this one away in the first half. They drop back, looking to pass. Moore still looking to pass, keeping his eyes downfield, under pressure, lofts it out, and that one intended for Riddick. I think that was a skip. It is incomplete. Yeah. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Riddick did a good job of getting to a spot, and if KJ'd been just a little bit more patient, Riddick could have broke free. And
one
he could
more
have hit him.
second. You're
Yes.
exactly right. But got to give Moore some credit standing in there, making things happen with his feet, not looking to run off the very first little bit of instance of pressure.
Well, he got hit in the back, and he didn't see it coming. So that sets your clock a little bit more to go ahead and try to throw while you know you can. He didn't know if he had another second, he could have waited.
2nd and 10. Again, Moore will be under center. 2 wide receivers here near sideline, one of which Crawford. Looking to the edge, a little bit high, but caught by Riddick.
He's got a first.
He's got the first down inside the 30.
55.8 as the clock stops while they set this thing up. And we'll see how long they do. You're right. Last time they didn't wait long enough.
I was going to say, you got to give Gary Wayne and them some time to set there. WKEY Covington, Clifton Forge, 103.5 Big Country, JB Brofman, Austin Best, Covington Cougar football, 28-7 the score. Right now, Covington with a 1st and 10. They're looking to increase this before the half. Snap is back, looking to pass across the middle to Howard, who is covering up the ball. And if he breaks that shoelace tackle, he's into the end zone for 6 of his own. Unfortunately, not able to do so, but Covington definitely looking to put some points on the board here. They're inside the 5, 1st and goal coming from what looks like the 3.
36 seconds left in this game. Clock has started. Covington better move fast if they really want to put points on the board.
They do still have 2 timeouts, according to the scoreboard. Moore once again under center. They're going to run it with Smith, left side of the line.
He's in.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, Cougars. 20 seconds remain. Covington puts 6 more, possibly 8, as we await the 2-point try. Nice run by Smith. Nice pitch and catch all the way down the field. It's good to see the pass game for Covington very successful there.
Although they're in control of this game, so the urgency is not quite there for Covington. That was a great 2-minute drill. You know, moving the ball like they did, throwing the ball.
And it may come in handy should we advance tonight. You're exactly right. Moore under center, 2-back set, Bullock and Smith. They're going to run it with Smith. He slips, sticks on his feet, though, and he's going to be short. Because of that slip in the backfield, the 2-point try is no good. 20 seconds left in the first half. 34-7, Covington leads it here at Booty Albert Stadium. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Down, up, sideways.
You got it. You got it.
There we go. Now
There
we're
we
talking.
go.
Want you to keep in mind that halftime we're going to interview Mary Tyree on the volleyball team as Sean Smith makes this 9-iron kick into the air. It bounces back. Covington has a shot at it.
And they recover the onside kick. You're exactly right. Great call with the 9-iron there.
I don't know if that was the intended kick, but that's what we got out of it. And Mr. Hyder is extremely excited. I hope not too excited because he's holding his back now.
He's done celebrated, throwing his back out.
That's all right. We'll put the athletic staff on him, and
athletic trainer will tend to him. Here
they'll take care of him. Well, let's see what Covington comes up with here.
1st and 10. Moore a little slow coming out of the break. Looking deep down the field. Lofts it out into the air. Riddick comes back for it. Makes the catch at the 10. Going to be brought down right around the 5.
Covington calling for a timeout.
10 seconds left on the scoreboard. And Covington will have 1, maybe 2 more plays to punch this one in. They're going to call a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. Thank our sponsors. Of course, we'd like to thank Highlands Community Bank, Jackson River Community Credit Union, Robert Garton Automotives, S.J. Niehawk Lumber Company, Fudge Street Cafe, Halsey's Auto Repair, Chapman Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Alcova Mortgage, Trani's Grill. Again, keep around. The halftime show coming up, brought to you by them in just a second. Gerald Franson Insurance, Tri-County Furniture, Coochie's Pizzeria, Allegheny Farm Bureau, the Snack Shack, Premier Bank, Clark's Performance Diesel, and finally, Allegheny Motors.
And just a reminder, we're going to be interviewing Mary Tyree, coach of the Covington volleyball team this year. They had an outstanding season, and looking forward to some more. So it'll be good to hear from her with Covington 34-7, 10 seconds left, Austin, as they come up with this play.
More under center. Here's the call, looking to pass. A little fade route to Rennick. It's good. Boy, that looked like a college catch.
Yes, it did. I've not seen it much prettier.
So Covington putting 2 scores on the board within 30 seconds.
They have scored real quick most of the night. They sure have.
Excuse me. Only 7 seconds remain here in the opening half, and it's been all Covington. I'd hate to write it off. We still got a whole second half to play, but it appears we will be attempting the point after kick. Woodzell the holder. Crawford in for the kick. Holds good. Kicks good and high. And it's
perfect.
Right down the middle. So all things clicking for Covington. 41-7, 7 seconds left in the first half. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. Back to a 41-7 lead here in the first half of the playoff game for Covington. 7 seconds left. Good high kick once again, fielded at the 30 for Auburn. And he is going to run this just long enough, and there will be a second and a half left. They'll have time for one more play. Jayon Miller, making the stop on special teams.
And now there is urgency. I don't know if you're Auburn, if you can let one opportunity go by you without trying to score. Covington's going to get the ball, correct, to start the second half?
They deferred the first half, so they will receive the ball coming out of the half. You're exactly right. I actually forgot about that.
So let's see if they've got a 60-yard pass play that they can throw out here.
1st and 10. They do have 4 wide receivers in. Well, 3.
They are throwing deep.
Under pressure, lofts it out middle of the field, up into the air,
Intercepted.
and an interception made by Crawford. Still on his feet across the 50.
If he gets
bringing
here,
it near
he's got
sideline. He may bring this one to the house. He's being chased from behind.
Let your blockers block.
He takes it in. A beautiful interception by Covington, and they're doing it on the defensive side of the ball. Crawford takes that one to the house for the interception, the pick 6 off a desperation heave for Auburn, and the scoring continues for the Cougars.
Where did he get that ball at? Do you remember? 40-yard line?
Yeah, something
Covington
like
40?
I want to say the 35.
Okay, that's probably about right. So that's a 65-yard return.
Pretty good. Yeah, spotter saying yeah.
All right, we are in good shape here. And I'd like to see another kick like we saw the last time.
So again, this time they one-up themselves. Within 10 seconds, they put 2 scores on the board. Again, Crawford trying to put all 7. He's in for the kick. Good high kick, and right down the middle. It's good. That will be the end of the first half. Covington leads it 48-7, folks. Coming up next, we've got a couple of interviews, one of which with Coach Tyree of the Covington volleyball team, and another one we won't fill you in on yet. Stick around here on 103.5 Big Country.
We'll do Coach first. Welcome back to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington in command of this playoff game, 48-7, as they go to the halftime locker rooms. But we're going to switch our focus for a little bit tonight. We're going to speak, first of all, to Mary Tyree. Mary is the coach of Covington's volleyball team, and you've had some pretty good success this year, have you not?
Yes, we ended the season 16-6.
16-6. That's pretty impressive. That's an emotional game as well as a strategy game and a physical game as well, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's emotional where you can be up and high and killing it, and then go into a game where you act like you've never seen a volleyball before. And we've had it. It has its peaks and it has its valleys.
Now you've had a few games this year, I'm sure, where and please share with us a little bit in reference to how the games go, how a match goes. You play, what, 3? You've got to win 3 of 5?
Yes.
And it goes to 21 points?
25.
25 points.
The fifth set goes to 15.
Fifth set goes to 15. And there's probably been a time or two that you did not win that first game? Does
Yes.
does that put stress on you in reference to that?
You just never know how they're going to react. And, like, if it's a close game, I'll look at them and say, if we lose, let's say, 26-24 or 25-23, I'll look at them and say, okay, we're still in this. We got this. We're ready to go. Now, if it's a big difference, then you have to work on that mental focus of the game. And mental toughness is a big thing in any sport. And so, yeah, winning the first set is a big thing. It's big.
But you had a few where you lost that first one, but you came back and you were able – and you had quite a few that went to 5 games, did you not?
Yes. We went 5 against Allegheny, 5 against Glenver. I think we went 4 against Turner Ashby, which is a big school, and then we went 5 against Narrows. We went to Narrows. They had beaten us 3-0 here and went to Narrows, and we went in there, and we were pretty relaxed that night. I don't know why, but we went in there, and we won I think it was the first 2, and maybe had to win the last one. I can't really remember. But, yeah, it's tough going over there and playing and somebody else's and taking in 5, especially when they were so big last year and, again, big this year. And, in fact, they won the regional championship, the district and the regional championship just the other night.
That height does make a difference, does it not, in volleyball?
Yes.
And you didn't probably have quite the same type of height to be able to match up?
Yeah, I think we were okay with them. It's just some things they do a little bit quicker than we do. But we're young. People say, oh, well, you had 5 seniors. But basically, starting out on the court, I had 2 seniors. I had 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen.
Wow.
So, and then I had a senior that would come in, substitute in, and 2 seniors substitute in. So basically, at the most on the floor, we had 3 seniors.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little bit of credit, and I'm gonna give you an awful lot of credit. If you're not real familiar, Mary's she started very young as a teacher, and she's been coaching and leading our young people for a long time. And one of the things I've always seen from you, Mary, is some real good composure and some real good ability to be able to not let the negatives overflow in reference to where you want to go. And that's real important to bring to a team, a volleyball team, any team, but a volleyball team, for example, because things can go so quick, momentum, correct?
Yes. And I'll admit, when I first started coaching years ago, I didn't have very good composure sometimes. In fact, I was told a couple times that I acted like Bobby Knight. But I have learned, and you have to learn with the group of girls and athletes that you have to know how they react to things. And if you have an athlete that doesn't take well to yelling and screaming or whatever, you can't do that because you can't have them shut down. So you have to learn everything about your team, not only physically but mentally, and how do they handle stuff and how they take criticism. And it's important because if you hit them the wrong way, they could easily shut down, and you can't do that. You can't afford to do that in a game of volleyball.
Well, you said it beautifully, what I was going to head to, and that was in reference to the fact that when you're playing freshmen and you're playing sophomore and you're playing seniors and you're playing different people, and you've got the ebb and flow. If you don't have that composure, that will fold on you real quick. Yeah. So what you brought to the table and what the kids were able to bring to the table kind of matched up very well, did it not?
Yes, and I'll give an example. I had Brianna Taylor beside Ariel Barber, and Brianna played every other set. and she would go in there and talk to Ariel, and it helped. We were just, Ariel and I were just talking about that while we were sitting here watching the ball game. And so it is, and it's, you got to have that mentorship, and people, the older ones leading the younger ones, and it's important. It's important.
It really is, and when it comes to playing sports, we all love to win.
Yes.
I mean, we like that part. That's no doubt about it. But there, and you've done this so well for Covington students and Covington High School for a long, long time. You've taught values that go beyond that, like the mentoring you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty special when you've got young people leading and guiding other young people and encourage them and pointing things out, kind of coaching for you on the court.
Right, exactly. That's a good point. You have your leaders out there are basically your assistant coaches on the court.
And it works well, and as you can tell from what you had. Now, I know that you had a little, I'm going to say, I don't know if you thought it, but maybe there was a little controversy in reference to the fact that you were tied at the end of the year and how that thing worked out. I'm sure you would have liked the opportunity to have played that.
Yes, I would have.
But sometimes that's how it goes, and so there was a little bit of leading that went on there too, because your team came back, even though I'm sure that was a little bit disappointing. Team came back and played well as you went into the district and then went into the regionals.
Right. We lost in the district finals, and then the regionals we went up against a tough team, Rural Retreat, who has a great middle hitter, sophomore, amazing, and then at Auburn we faltered a little bit, but if you look at the scores, we had one bad set, and we lost like 25-23, 25-19, 25-23. So it's just hit or miss. One little thing can change the whole momentum. But overall, we had a great season. Absolutely great season.
Did you expect that level?
To be honest,
when you had such a young group,
I didn't know how we were going to do, but I think one of the turning points was when we played Turner Ashby, and they came in here. I think we beat them in 4. I think that was a big turning point for our team.
Well, I really do appreciate what you've brought to the table in terms of coaching in all the sports. How many other sports you coach?
This year I'm retired from all sports because my husband would like some home-cooked meals.
Well.
And we have tickets to the women's Hokies basketball, so we like to do that, and then we'll come and support the girls and boys basketball team. But no more coaching except for volleyball for Mary Tyree.
Well, we can understand, and you deserve a little bit of a break and that opportunity. And we really appreciate everything that you've done, and congratulations on this year, Mary.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and then we'll be back here to Casey Field. We've got a couple of young ladies that are part of the athletic training team to interview here in just a minute. So we'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. This is the halftime show sponsored by Trani's Grill. Great food at a great price. Pasta, pizza, steak, seafood, sandwiches, burgers, and much more. Visit today in the Riverbend Shopping Center in Covington. Eat in or take out tonight at Trani's Grill. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Welcome back to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. It's halftime. Covington's got this game in control so far. Be interesting to see what takes place in the second half. But we're going to take a few moments and talk a little bit about one of the most important things that has happened to Covington and all high school sports over the last 10 years, and that's having athletic trainers and teaming with young people to learn how to be athletic trainers. We have two members of the athletic training team here with us tonight. Would you please introduce yourselves?
I'm Lauren Gillespie, and I'm a 12th grader here, and we're in sports medicine, too.
Brianna Taylor, 12th grade, sports medicine 2.
Sports medicine 2. Is that better than sports medicine 1?
Yeah, it's just the second year. It's like you do more stuff. Like you can tape. You get to do way more CPR.
When do you get to do surgery?
When you go to college.
When you go to
Probably
college?
When you graduate, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. How do you like what you're doing right now?
I really like it. This is probably something that I'm going to go to school for, but I don't want people to get hurt, but I like when people get hurt.
Okay.
We'll
talk about that.
I enjoy this part of the football season because you get to learn with Miss Bess and Miss Hale, get to learn about other injuries, and this is what I want to go into, health and human performance science when you get older. So, yeah.
Well, now, I'm going to say something right now that I probably shouldn't say. First of all, in listening to the answers that you're giving me and the explanations that you're giving me, y'all paying attention to what you're doing. Yes, and you're kind of looking in a reference to a future. I think it's an excellent thing. I remember when they said, don't drink water. That's when I played. They're saying, they did have football when I played, okay? But tell me, when you're starting to look, you mentioned the fact that you like the idea, not that you want anybody to be hurt, but you like the opportunity to practice your skills. Mm-hmm. What's going through your mind when you're running out there and somebody's on the field?
I remember my first injury, actually. Every time I was with Miss Bess last year, like walking with her, someone would get hurt. And this dude hurt his foot, and I was so excited. I was like, Miss Bess, let's go. And she was like, calm down. You can't be, like, excited for them to get hurt. And it was just, it's like a rush. And it's like everything that you learn goes through your head, and it just works that way.
Being able to, like, be Miss Bess's second hand out there when she wants you to go running and get something for her because she's out there, doing her job, and then we're just there shadowing her. So I think it's a great opportunity for us as students to do that.
Well, it is. Let me ask you this. Now, first time you went out there and you were kind of excited in reference to it. Now when you're going out there, has your thinking changed? Are you thinking about what might possibly be the injury?
Yes, very much so.
And what are you thinking as you're approaching that? I know it's one thing if the player's got a cramp. What if it's been a collision, a powerful collision?
Well, like we learned about CT and all that kind of stuff. So every time like a helmet to helmet happens, it just freaks us out. And it's like I used to love the sound just because it just sounds nice. Uh-huh. But now that I know what can actually happen, I don't like that sound anymore. So it's pretty rough.
So they explained to you a little bit about what's happening in the head in reference to that?
Yes.
And now when you get some injuries like, say, for example, a shoulder or a knee, what's going through your mind there?
I love actually the knee. Like whenever there's a knee injury, I'm like, okay, we can do this test or we can do that. And it's just like all the stuff that Miss Hale teaches us goes through our mind.
All right, well, let me ask you this. You watch sports on TV, college and things like that, and they're starting – they're moving. Can you really tell when they move their leg up and down, and do you know what the places are to press to tell whether or not it's a anterior or interior or? Usually
by the tests that they're given, like during an injury, like the knee, there's anterior drawer tests and stuff like that with the arm, stuff like that. Range of motion, you got to test and see if everything's okay. And we learn the bones in sports medicine also, so we know what to touch, when to touch it, how much to touch it. So.
Wow, and you can really tell what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Miss Hale has these like diagrams in her room, and she has one that's like she has an ACL that's torn, and then she has an ACL that's not torn. So she shows us a little test she does with it, and you can actually tell it's a difference. It's pretty cool.
Well, what will you do? What will you do once football season is over? Will you get to practice anything with basketball?
Well, I'm a basketball player, so no. We won't get to because we can't help Miss Bess during a basketball game because we'll be playing. But I wish I could.
Okay. Do you play basketball?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
We're both three-sport athletes, so. But, I mean, Miss Bess will let us help her, like, if we don't have a game or something that day. And then we can go in there and ask her, be like, can we learn about something? So. She's always there to help us, and I'm very thankful that we have Miss Bess and Miss Hale here. So.
Okay. One more time, tell us your names.
I'm Lauren Gillespie.
Brianna Taylor.
And tell us what is the best part about what you've done so far.
HIPAA.
HIPAA.
Oh my God.
HIPAA? That means you can't tell us anything. Remember, now notice, I didn't ask you anything about any
Hey,
certain
it's on the
players.
T-shirt. That's why you saw it. It's on
Huh?
our, it's on our sports medicine T-shirts.
Oh, okay. It has really been great to have you up here and talk. You're both very excellent communicators.
Thank you.
You've apparently been listening, so give my compliments to Mrs. Hale and Mrs. Bess in reference to their teaching. But let me give you compliments for paying attention and listening. This is excellent communication. You've explained well what's on your hearts and mind. So thank you, ladies, for the job you're doing. With that thought in mind, we again want to thank Tronny's Grill for bringing you this halftime show. Great food at a great price. Pasta, pizza, steak, seafood, sandwiches, burgers, and much more. Visit today in the Riverbend Shopping Center in Covington. Eat in or take out tonight at Tronny's Grill. We're going to take a 1-minute time out, and we'll be back here at Casey Field for Covington receiving the opening kickoff of the second half after this 1-minute timeout.
Welcome back to Casey Field. The second half is now underway. The kick, a deep kick, fielded back inside the 10 by Moore. He's going to bring it out and get to about the 35-yard line. And
boy, was that timing or what? Good job, Susan.
Absolutely. You timed it to a T.
Boy, we had that. Susan brought us back on that kickoff. I mean, we came in right before the foot hit the ball.
Now, I got to give you some props here. That was a heck of an interview series during the halftime, all three.
Well, when you've got people that can communicate, like all three of those young ladies could communicate, that does make for a real good interview. And I was just real impressed with the ability, the knowledge base of those young ladies, as well as their ability to communicate. They did not know they were coming up here until sometime tonight.
Yeah, second quarter, mid-second quarter. 1st and 10, Moore under center, handoff inside to Smith, the ball carrier. Still fighting, still pushing ahead. Second and third effort. What would have been a 2-yard pickup ends up about a 7-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Well, they did do a little bit of adjusting because I'll tell you, for all of the second quarter and a good chunk of the first quarter, that play went for 15, 20 yards. So this time they stopped it for 7. Good job by Covington as they come up and set up again. They've got one receiver out wide to the right, which would be the baseball side of the field. As he takes the snap, hands off again up the middle, breaks through 2 tacklers, and finally brought down by 2 more, but he picks up another 12 yards. 14 yards on that play.
Ball carrier Sean Smith, and aggressive running from him, from Hyder a little bit, and even from Bullock.
And Covington is doing what they – now, there's another point here in reference to this that I think is vital, and that's to give KJ just a little bit of a break. Until they stop the inside run, that's where you got to go. And they are gunning for KJ.
1 wide receiver, 2 back set. Again, they're going to hand it off straight ahead with Smith. He's going to power it out over the 50, down to the 49, inside Auburn territory, pickup of 4 yards on first.
Boy, isn't that depressing? He only got 4 yards.
Do that a couple more times.
3 times 4 is 12. That's the way you look at it.
Right around 10 to play. This clock will continue to run due to the point differential. 48-7. Covington holds a commanding lead here at home. The first playoff game of the season. Looking to advance and more than likely play Narrows next week. Moore's going to keep it himself. And he is still on his feet out across the 30, the 20, the 10. And he is in for the score. Number 3 does it again. What's that, his 4th touchdown of the night?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's 4, not including the passes that he's thrown for touchdowns.
4 on the ground with his legs. And Covington again putting 6 more on the board. 9:50 left to play.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I was still watching the first man that got the ball going into the line. He was still fighting as though he had the ball. I had no idea that Moore had gone and broke it off for the big yards.
Going to be attempting the point after. Hold is a little sloppy, and so is the kick. It's low, no good. 54-7 still the score. Covington leads it here with 9:50 left in the third quarter. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. (54-7) the score here as Covington puts 6 more on the board. Did it pretty quick there, too. They received the kick to start this second half. 9:50 left to play in this third quarter as we await the Sean Smith kick. Approaches it at the 40, puts a good foot on it. It is going to bounce out of bounds, and that will result in good field position for Auburn. Maybe the worst kick of the night for the Covington Cougars.
I thought he was going to sweep over there and get that, but I believe that was the quarterback on that side for Auburn, and he's shown a
Smart.
real good yes.
Football IQ for sure.
Yes.
To be as young as he is, a freshman, and to play the way he has, I know the scoreboard doesn't really do it justice, but very, very going to be a threat in the years to come if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, we've got to remember that this Auburn team is young across the board. Now, one thing they can't match up to tonight is the speed of Covington.
Yeah, just too fast
and
powerful when you account for Bullock and,
yes.
and Smith. I mean, you've got the three-headed beast back there. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Quarterback will be under center here. 2 wide receivers, short side of the field, far visitor sideline. Man in motion. A little bit of trickery, a little counter play. Run it up inside.
Stolen
and
by
that
number
ball
27.
is stolen away from Smith, still on his feet. And if he gets to the edge, he may take this one in. He dives ahead. I believe he's going to be just short of the pylon. But you're exactly right. Stolen,
yes. Smith grabbed the ball. He had a clear shot at the ball, and he grabbed it, and it just came right back unto him. And I'm surprised that Auburn picked up on what happened as fast as they did to get somebody out there to get him.
Yeah, Auburn ran the ball up the middle off the little counter trickery play, and Smith just comes up and instead of making the tackle, just yanks the ball out and brings it back the other way. Covington, again, in the red zone, and got to think an easy score coming here. They haven't had any trouble so far tonight.
Covington practicing a snap with a different quarterback. We've got another quarterback coming in.
I believe it's Woodzell in under center for Covington, giving Moore a breather. 2 wide receivers to the outside, 88 and 20. That's Miller and Brady Groves. 2-back set, one's Bullock. They're going to hand it to him, and he tries to stretch the ball out over the goal line. It does fumble, but they're saying he was down by contact. He's going to be about 3 inches short of the touchdown there. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 3-inch line. But a very aggressive surge. Lowered the boom there. They're going to bring him out for a breather. I think that's a smart call. Yeah.
I think it's a good move. They've got Hyder in for him now.
Hyder and Smith, the tailbacks. Split in the backfield, and they're going to give it to Hyder, and
Clear.
good Lord. I mean, as soon as that ball was snapped, he was there to meet Woodzell on the handoff, and he basically walked in. Touchdown Covington. Hyder puts a score on the board, last week's player of the game. To conclude the regular season, 60-7 the score. Covington is pouring it on here at home.
And Covington looking to kick again, and that's what they need to do. That's one good thing about all the points they're scoring tonight. Now they're getting lots of chances to kick. Ball's down, kicks up. This one's good.
Patton's right down the middle. Much better hold this time. 61-7, 7:38 left to play here in the third quarter. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. I got nothing else to say.
Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium, 61-7. Yes, you heard that right, 61-7. As Covington kicks off after its last touchdown, kicked along the sidelines there on the ball field side. He's weaving and dancing, and he does find his way for another 12 yards. And awful lot of people lying on the ground.
I was going to say, a little bit of faking, flopping going on
Yeah.
there. I thought that was just basketball. Jayon Miller making the stop over there on that far sideline for special teams for Covington. But, yeah, just Covington player just blatantly fell down. That was a flop. Nobody hit him. First,
I'm not sure we'll see too many changes on defense. I would keep although we do not have KJ in on defense anymore. We do not think that's injury related. That's playing it safe.
1st and 10, quarterback keeping it himself, trying to find some place to take it. But Covington's defense has played exceptional tonight.
Yes, they have. It took them, and that's not unusual, took them a series or two to really get their feet in place. And we mentioned that they would probably begin to recognize a little bit quicker, and they have done so. And they've done a good job of shutting this out since probably the beginning of the second quarter.
Jaden Riddick making the stop there on first down. Only a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles from Auburn. Sporting the all-white jerseys tonight. Blue helmets with a little bit of white on there. Look like the Wolverine designs on their helmets. If you're familiar with the Michigan Wolverines. Man in motion. They're going to dive play it up inside, and they're going to pick up a few more, actually a whole lot more. Second effort. It goes both ways, this time for Auburn, and second effort gets them the first down. I think they're going to spot this one on the 45. Finally brought down by 74, Brandon Hubbard for the Cougars.
Now, one thing that Covington needs to do, and it's not from a standpoint of what could happen score-wise, is they don't want to lose enough focus that they don't stay on the edge of their game, because that's when you get hurt. And we've got a lot of people out there that we don't want to see hurt. Now, we are seeing a few substitutions come in, and I think that's great.
Absolutely. This one is well in hand, I think it's safe to say. 61-7, right around 5.5 to play. A flag comes in.
I saw a Covington player jumping. That's what it is.
I was going to say, that they've blown it dead, so that tells me it's offsides one way or the other. The clock will stop for the official timeout, but other than that, it's going to keep on rolling, folks, because of the point differential. And there it starts up again. 61-7. I didn't quite get it out there the first time.
Score that I didn't expect tonight.
No, that's me too. I expected a much tighter ball game. Of course, I did not know a whole lot about Auburn, so.
Yeah, these games where you're the 4 and the 5 and the 6, These should be closer, a little bit closer, but oh my goodness, what a hit by Covington as he tries to run up the middle. He hands that ball off and
back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
yes.
2nd and 5 coming.
Has Auburn made some substitutions? I think they have.
I
Can't tell.
I can't tell. They do have a lot of dirty jerseys. They've been subbing guys in and out a lot here tonight.
Yes.
Under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. 2 wide receivers here coming near sideline. They are facing KFC to give you a perspective point of view here. Quarterback is going to hand it off, dive play up inside. They've got the first down and then a couple, pickup of 7. They needed 5, moving the chains.
Doing what they would like to do.
Blake Woodzell, the senior, making the tackle there for Covington.
I think Covington's setting for the pitch plays, and you've got to think that might be what's coming. That's why you run up the middle. They've not had enough success to just stay right there with the middle run. And if they want to score fast, which that's what you might think they'd want to do, but I'm not sure how many scores they are down. So right now it's
quarterback under center for Auburn. First down, looking to throw. Little out route to that far sideline. Beats the first man, still on his feet. Finally brought down right around the 15-yard line by Ed Tyson and Blake Woodzell. Double teamed on that far sideline, visitor sideline.
Number 80, the receiver for them, is a big man. And he made a good move on the first would-be tackler for Covington. But I was impressed with Covington's response. They got back out there. Ed's usually playing a linebacker position, and that was well past his linebacker position, but he got some good inside-out coverage there, as well as Woodzell.
So once again, a first down coming for Auburn. Quarterback under center. The dive play inside once again, and this one's going to go into the end zone. He carries the tackler, which was Hyder. Wasn't able to stop him, though. 6 more points on the board for Auburn. That makes
just a good run right up the middle is what it was. They opened up a good hole and did what they needed to do.
As we await the point after attempt, the PAT. Now it appears to me they're going to go for 2 here. I think the PA man is hearing me here. That happens a couple times. That's okay. We love Romy.
He's
looking to throw and
intercepted
in the end zone, and they're going to whistle it dead. You can't advance it apparently. That was 24 Austin Terry, the defender out there for Covington. So the score now 61-13. Yes, 61 for Covington. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout on 103.5 Big Country. (61-13), Auburn finally ends the scoring drought. They put 6 more points on the board, failed the 2-point try, and that's how we get to that score. 2:54 left to play here in the third quarter. Late man coming on for Covington on special teams. One of the front men, Bullock and Austin Terry back deep for the Cougars on special teams. So we await the kick. This number 11 for them's got quite the foot. He's their field goal kicker. As you mentioned, he was kicking them from about 30 yards pregame. This one's fielded back at the 10 by Terry, who plummels over the first defender and out to almost the 40-yard line. Going to be 2 yards short at the 38. Covington will get the ball back.
And Covington continues to make some substitutions on offense, which that's what they should do. This clock is in a running mode. And it's going to continue to run, except for certain scenarios. And Covington would like to be able to control the ball enough to keep the ball in their possession, just run as much time off as they possibly can. But when you hand it to one of these guys, they're going to want to score.
That's right. 1st and 10, the dive play straight ahead. Ball is on the ground, though, and
recovered by
Auburn recovers. So a different unit in there under center. Maybe a little bit of credit goes to that. But better play by Auburn to capitalize on the opportunities.
Yes,
you
indeed.
said it earlier. It's about the opportunities that present themselves and how you work with them.
And it's real tough to keep your focus right here as well. Even some of the urgency coming in right now with this big lead, it's not quite what you would see in some other circumstances. But if Covington decides to do that a few more times, this game can get close. It's not quite out of reach yet.
1st and 10, they're going to try to run it to the outside. He's still on his feet. I think Covington thought they had brought him down to at least a knee, but he fights forward and picks up a good 6 yards. We do have a player down. He's helped up by a teammate. Seems to be okay. He's going to try to stay in. We'll see if Coach picks up on it or not. It appears they're sending in a sub.
Yeah, he's kind of hiding behind the big guys.
Yeah. He's going to hang around the ref there.
But he's still
in the game. Yeah,
he's made it.
He made the cut. He snuck through. 2nd and 4 coming for Auburn. Right around a minute to play in the third. Quarterback's going to keep it, bobbles it, collects it. Left side, still on his feet, kicks it to the outside, and he is going to be finally corralled and brought down out of bounds, far visitor sideline. DeAndre Hyder, the man to finally get the job done on defense for Covington. Sloppy defensive play there.
Yeah, that's you've got a lot of young people in there, so that's their first time to see that pitch play coming at them live. And they didn't see it because they was going they were going for the front man.
That fake dive.
Yes.
So 1st and goal from the 9 for the Eagles. 61-13, under 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's the snap. The dive play, straight up inside, out across the 5, down to the 3. And that'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 3.
Not likely they'll get this one off unless they really hustle.
Anthony Davis, 75, wraps the man up and brings him to the ground. Rides him to the ground, really.
Play's got to come in from the side. They will not get this off.
I was going to say, yeah.
He's not trying to get back in time to get it off.
That will conclude 3 quarters. Covington with a commanding 61-13 lead. Folks, keep it with us here on 103.5 Big Country. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout with the fourth quarter.
Welcome back to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington is hanging on to a 61-13 point lead. Hanging on because
I was going to say that's a crazy choice of words.
Auburn has just scored a touchdown, and right now they're threatening after fumble recovery. But make a commentary here, and I have to say I've seen a worse situation. But what's happening with Allegheny at Magna Vista? The radio crew is out on the ground, outside somewhere, doing their program, and we understand the football team had to dress on the bus.
Yep.
That's
We're not
unbelievable.
provided a locker room. That's pretty sad. 2nd down and goal from the 3 for I almost said Magna Vista, wrong game, for Auburn here, and they're not going to be able to punch it in that time at least. DeAndre Hyder making the stop. Yeah, that is pretty poor. Can't get the locker room to dress in.
Yeah, I've seen a little worse treatment, but that's pretty bad. That is pretty tough.
And playoff games charge you to broadcast the games too. That's another one of those things.
Well, yeah, $75 is what I
$75
understood
to
that
broadcast
was.
on the ground in
On
the
the ground.
mud. Yeah,
That ain't right.
that's better than what it originally
I'm sorry.
was.
That is not right. Let me use the appropriate.
That ain't right. Well,
We just had these young
you're
ladies.
in the right
up,
county for that.
We just had these young ladies that was up here that was able to communicate extremely well, and my grammar's gone.
You're here with a Potts
south.
Creek boy. You're
Yeah.
not offending me. That'll be
Incomplete pass.
That's gonna be
Let's
just
get back
fine.
to the ball game.
All right. That is an incomplete pass coverage on the outside by Austin Terry. And that'll bring up 4th down and goal from the 3. Auburn, they got to go for it here. I mean,
They will go for this. I don't know what they will try to do. I think, is this the quarterback? Is this?
I want to say it's a backup, but I'm
That's
not
what I'm-
100%.
I can't be sure too. I think it is their quarterback
that doesn't speak well to our attention span.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Under 10.5 to play here in the ball game. 61-13, 4th and 3. Here's the call for Auburn. They're looking to put points on the board. Man in motion. Hand it off straight ahead, and it's
don't
going
know.
to be very
Yeah,
close.
he's going to give it to him.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him. Yeah, that was very close. Dove inside. That's on the far side of the field from us. So very tough for us to call it. The officials were right there, though. Touchdown for the Eagles, and that's 2 for them in the past, let's see, 8 minutes.
Yeah, the official took a second before they called it too. It was close.
They wanted to make sure. Still calling us right down the middle. And Auburn will attempt the point after kick. Their kicker has one heck of a leg. I'm impressed. Snaps high, holds good. Kick is up. And it's good right down the middle. 61-20. 10-13 left to play in this ball game. Stick with us on 103.5 Big Country.
Welcome back to Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Picking up their second touchdown here. Auburn gets ready to start off this 4th quarter with this kickoff right here. There it goes back down deep. Going to be fielded by number 24. He got it on the run, and he's got to the outside here a little bit. Finds his way inside, spins out of a tackle, can't get out of the next one, comes down at the 30-yard line, and the clock is continuing to run.
I call that style of running. We've heard physical running. We've heard speedy running. I call that feisty running.
And here I said the clock's going to continue to run, and it stopped.
They got to let one play run, I'm assuming, or the officials have to spot the ball. Ball's still not on the ground. There they go. That's the confusion there. So 1st and 10 for the Cougars here. Different quarterback in. Woodzell under center, giving Moore I'm assuming, the rest of the night off. 2 wide receivers, far visitors sideline. They're going to dive, play it up inside. That's Hyder carrying the ball out across the 50, fighting forward and maintaining ball security there. Nice job, nice run, pickup of 15 and another first.
This tells you something when the young man, he's starting in a couple of other positions, but he's not one of your starting running backs. When you've got him as a replacement back,
A third option.
yeah, that's not fair right now, is
Well,
it?
he's coming in, and he doesn't look tired at all. I
No,
mean,
he does not.
He plays defensive side and special teams, and he comes in here running the football and doesn't even look like he's broke a sweat.
And he's chased down a few folks that thought they had touchdowns tonight and found him in place.
That's right. He said, not today. Makembe Mutombo. 1st and 10, just inside Auburn territory. Woodsell under center, again handed off inside to Hyder. Just tries to follow the lead blockers there, pick up what he can. Smart running by Hyder. A pickup of 5 on first. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
It's good for some folks to be getting a couple different plays here. We've got a couple of defensive people getting some offensive time here, and that is good for all of them. You never know when you might need them. If you go deep into these playoffs, and Covington certainly has that opportunity. I really don't care who they're playing next week. Covington can go deep into these playoffs. You're going to need everybody.
2nd down and 5. Again, Woodsell under center. This time handed off to Hyder. Again, 22-27. Those were the two back there. They confuse me with that every play almost. As we approach under 8 minutes left in this one. 61-20 the score. Covington almost certainly looking to a second-round matchup next week.
Unlike the last series Covington had when they fumbled the ball away, they're doing what they want to do here. Run up the middle, eat the clock. Run up the middle, eat the clock. Working well right now at the moment.
3rd and 2. 2 wide receivers, 2 back. They're going to hand it off once again to Hyder. He's got the first and then some. Strong running, head down, shoulders out. And Gary Wayne, move those chains.
Yeah, he's following your instructions very well. You didn't have to tell him he was on the move.
Yeah, he knew
was
exactly.
on the move.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to speak with him a little bit earlier today when I went to interview the coach.
He would be a great interview. He has been pulling those chains for a long time, but he could probably, from a historical value, give you one of the great summaries of Covington High School football for the last 20 years at least.
He enjoys it.
Yes, he
Even
does.
on as cold a night as it is. To give you an idea, it's 32 degrees, not including the wind chill here.
He rarely misses an away game either. He's almost at every ball game.
Travels well. 1st and 10. They hand it off inside once again with Hyder. Somebody's holding on to his leg, and he yanks it away, still on his feet. They never do bring him down.
Well, they got him back down at the first spot, to be honest, which that's about right. They must have whistled it dead a little bit earlier.
Nice running by Hyder. WKEY Covington, Clifton Forge, 103.5 Big Country. I'm Austin Best alongside J.B. Brufman, Dwayne Brufman, our spotter, and Susan Brufman running the boards for us in the studio. Very appreciative of the staff we have here each and every night. 2nd and 7 for Covington here in Auburn territory at home. Under 6 to play in the fourth quarter. They have a 61-20 lead. Woodsell under center.
Taking plenty of time.
Absolutely.
Whoa!
Man in the backfield tackles Hyder. Woodsell's going to have to take it himself. And he's still on his feet. He may score here. Racing to the end zone. He is in off a busted play. Woodsell has a great football IQ to tuck it, not hand it off to Hyder, who was tackled, didn't even have the ball. And he takes it from about 35 yards out and puts 6 more on the board.
Have a player down on that one, but yeah, that was now one thing I really liked, and because he was looking down to the official that was deep down in the defensive side, and he did not come up to the line of scrimmage until that official raised his hand, which showed that the clock was coming close to the end of the period. So he knew what he was doing. That thought in mind, we're going to take a 30-second timeout. We've got an injury here. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Welcome back to Booty Albert Stadium, Casey Field. Covington Cougar football on 103.5 Big Country. The score, as it stands, 67-20 after that Blake Woodzell touchdown. We've got Crawford in for the point after for Covington here, trying to put one more on the board. He's 3 for 4 tonight. Kicking the ball. Good hold, but a lot of pressure.
Snap.
Yeah,
high snap.
A high snap, a good hold, and a lot of pressure. That allowed them to get to the backfield. No good on the point after. 67-20 the score. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout.
Welcome back, Casey Field, Booty Albert Stadium. Covington on a busted play. They were just trying to run up the middle, but they got the fullback, Hyder. He got tackled before he got the ball. So Woodzell had to go ahead and make some other moves, and he did, and he found a lane and took it in. So Covington is now up 67-20, 5:37 left in this fourth quarter of this playoff game for Covington.
I laugh because it sounds so funny, but you're exactly right. He tackled Hyder before he even had the ball. Here's the kick from Smith, and underestimated that. They're going to have to run back and field it inside the 10 out of 15, the 20, the 25. Oh, almost didn't get there. Almost made me a liar. Jayon Miller brings him down far visitor sideline on special teams. He's made a lot of tackles on special teams tonight.
Boy, he sure has. He is a great tackler. He looked like a heat-seeking missile on that play. That running back didn't really know where he was, and he found him, and he tried to move in another direction from him, and he just took him right down.
So 1st and 10, right around 5 to play left in this ball game. Covington will advance following the 5 minutes. 67-20 the score as it stands now. They're going to send Miller out and Woodzell.
I don't think he liked coming out.
No, I don't think so either. A late substitution. Hyder a little late getting off the field. I don't know if the officials saw it. And Auburn with a little bit of room here near sideline, still on their feet. And they're going to take this well into Covington territory before finally forced out of bounds by Austin Terry at the 21-yard line. So a big pickup there on the first offensive play there.
The player that came in late for Covington found his way to the center of the defensive line, and that's where that play went. He just was not in position, and that contributed greatly to that play.
So 1st and 10 complete, change of field position here. We were way back at the 25 of Auburn. Now we're at the Covington 21.
But you've got wholesale substitutions in for Covington, which is the way it should be.
1st and 10, man in motion. They're going to run the jet sweep with him, far sideline. He's going to kick it up inside, and he's going to be slung down inside the 5. That's Brady Groves, number 88 for your Covington Cougars, making the stop there on defense, and that'll bring up 1st and goal for the Auburn Eagles.
Good job by Covington after they turned the corner. They were able to take the defending end out for Covington, and I mean it. They had 2 blockers out in front of the running back as he made that cut up the field. But at least they got there in time, broke down the blocking pattern, and was able to make a tackle.
So 1st and goal from the 2. Quarterback under center, man in motion. Again, they're going to give it to him off that jet sweep. And he is
out of bounds.
Out of bounds, going to be short. No gain on that play. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, he thought he done dived into the end zone, but the official was rather adamant where he went out of bounds at. So
Jayon Miller making the tackle there on that far sideline.
a lot of people have left us tonight.
Yes, they
Austin.
Yes, they have.
Gone somewhere it was warm.
Yeah, I was going to say they're probably freezing. They said this one's way out of hand. We're going home. We'll listen to it on the radio. Thank you for listening to us here on 103.5 Big Country. Austin Best alongside J.B. Brofman. Second and goal from the 2 for Auburn. Handed off left side, and they are in for the score this time. That one was easy. Touchdown, Auburn. 67-26 the score as we await the point after. And 2:25 left to play in the fourth quarter.
And they are going to kick, which they've got a good kicker.
They do.
And we've seen some really good kicks from our extra point attempts. Seen some not so good, but we've seen some good kicks there,
I'd
too.
say majority of them were good.
Yes.
Yeah. Kick
Wow.
is up, and he might hit the scoreboard with that one. It's good right down the pipe. So with 2:25 remaining in the ball game, 67-27, a 40-point differential here at Casey Field. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
It is 67-27 here at Covington High School. Covington well in control of this playoff game with Auburn. They've done well. They've struck well, particularly with Moore. He's got quite a bit of yardage chalked up again tonight. He's just so elusive and so powerful. And he's had a lot of support from some other players. And right now we got some Covington players getting a little of extra time here as they approach his kickoff, and he kicks. It's a line drive down low, and it's fielded rather quickly. And if he can get to the outside, this is Tyson. If he can get to the outside, he's going to have a little room, and there's going to be a flag. Yes, there's several flags being thrown.
Definite horse collar tackle made by Auburn here near sideline. That's going to go against them. But
reached around and grabbed his mask and pulled him down from behind, and I assume this is going to be a 15-yard face mask penalty.
Now I got to say this. Nice job by Tyson to get up, walk to the sideline, and not show any of that emotion.
Yes.
And also a nice job by his teammates not to allow that to overtake them as well. But
And I don't think what the player was trying to do was
blatant.
Yeah, but it was.
But it was obvious.
Yes. So let's see here. We're waiting for someone to count to see how many yards they do count off on this.
They're gonna mark this off just from where the return ended up at about the 45, still in Covington territory. Once they mark this off, it will be in Auburn territory. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't need to hear me count. Let's just give you the final thing.
They gave it the personal
15
foul, 15
yards. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be spotted on the Auburn 39-yard line.
And I'm not sure if he doesn't grab him up here, he might would have pulled away from the other hand and
Yeah,
and
he
been
had a
down
full
the
head of
sideline.
steam. That's
yes,
right.
He did.
Nice running by Tyson. Boy, Covington's got threats everywhere on the ground.
Yes, they do.
In the victory formation is Woodzell. Going to take a knee here. Actually going to take a stomach. He lays out flat. I think he hit the ground a little harder than he thought. A little slow to get up there. He's back up. Those center grabs him by the back of the jersey and says, "Get up. We still got 1 minute and 45 seconds left. You got to do that at least twice more." 67-27 will likely be the final score of this one here at Casey Field. We do thank you for listening to us. I know it's been a pretty lopsided affair tonight. We're looking forward to next week for sure. We'll talk more on that coming up in the Fudge Street Cafe post-game show. It's going to be a brief post-game show, not a whole lot to talk about. 2nd and 10. A stomach is taken again. We'd call it a knee, but that's not what he does. I'm calling it as I see it. And that will take us under a minute to play in this first round playoff game for your Covington Cougars. 3rd and 12. I'm just watching that official to see when they get that indication of they're right around 10 seconds. The back official has that. He's checking his watch now. Never thought I'd be calling play-by-play for the official. The hand goes up. That means 10 seconds or less. Woodsell gets set, and a knee is taken, and that should do it, folks. Teams will make their way midfield to shake hands. And they will not have enough time for one more. And that will conclude this ball game. Covington comes out, plays very, very well. 67-27 the final score. Coming up next, the Fudge Street Cafe post-game show. Keep it locked in here to 103.5 Big Country.
Game turns out probably better than the coaches expected it to be. They finished with a 67-27 victory tonight against Auburn. They looked good, except for a play or two at the very beginning. They looked very good across the board, and good start to get ready for next week, because it's going to get tough next week.
It is going to be tough next week. We're going to play a familiar foe more than likely. It looks like Narrows is going to win against Rural Retreat tonight. Something like 48-0 the score, the last we heard from Susan back in the studio. So looks like we will be on the road traveling to Narrows for a matchup next Friday night, hopefully. We do hope you'll join us. If you can't make the trip out there, we hope you'll join us right here on 103.5 Big Country. I think that's about all we have to say. We do want to thank Fudge Street Cafe, Donna Young and company down there for sponsoring the post-game show tonight and all regular season long. When you work up that appetite, come on down and see what the Fudge is all about. Great food, great drinks, and a great atmosphere. Visit today, 109 East Fudge Street in Clifton Forge. Don't forget, tomorrow night at Fudge Street, they're having a Toys for Tots benefit. That starts at 7 o'clock. Tickets are $12 at the door. They're going to have live music and, of course, great food and fellowship. So come on out, support a good cause at Fudge Street Cafe tomorrow night, 7 to midnight. With that thought in mind, JB, it's been a fun one. For JB Brufman, I'm Austin Bess. You've been listening to Covington Cougar Football. The final score here at Casey Field, 67-27. God bless. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday, more than likely at Narrows High School.